Let's do it. Get up. We want you to get on your feet. Stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now. We go party till we black out. So get the fuck up. So cover and duck, you're out of luck, we don't give up. Yeah, we're going up, next floor is us, you're riding with us. We want you to get on your feet. Stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now. We go party till we black out. So get the fuck up.
figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I.
I feel your heart beating. is going on?
Elbows out here as they come into the S's, and Max yields to place Bozzy Boy round the outside of the first bend of the S's. What's happened there is 3 abreast, 3 into 1 doesn't work. DJ Phil's backed out of it. Argent is at his, I know it's Smithy, tries to turn in, but Dean's there, so he can't turn in much more. Oh, Dean, careful on putting the power down, gets it down now, gets the traction out of the corner.
Oh,
he's got a look!
Down the inside of Ukbar and he hits him.
Yeah, a bit of a tap, side-by-side contact. Ukbar lost a bit of momentum there, but he's going to still have a look here. He's got to give Ukbar the room. Ukbar's up the inside.
Who's gone on to win this race?
Yeah, he's gone on to win the race. We wasn't sure about his tyre choice, but Max Mulder then, 2 race wins this season for him. Great start to his campaign this season. What a job for Rabbit Joe as well. His first outing back in the Pro-Am, and he's up on the podium in P2. There he is across the line. Buzzy Boy, as Ukbar went wide, actually gets past Ukbar now, but this man, Monkey Boy, he's going to cross the line for a P3.
Got your name in my mind, 'cause you caught it. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You're golden.
And Dean has to not, in fact, he's got his nose up the inside for the next part, as he must have gone deep. Can he keep it there? At the minute, yes, it will be a double left-hander coming up. Dean can't get across because Leon Fernie's still up the inside. Leon Fernie taking the natural line. Shane will try to go around the outside, does he know? Tries to tuck back underneath.
hand in the darkness. Summer heat.
Silly rule, if you ask me. But either way, Kelly's going to come back up the inside, and Monkey Boy might make this 3 wide. The run that Monkey Boy's got, bails out of it. Kelly now looking up the inside of Shane. Shane gives him the place back.
Honestly, you know it. Me onto the street like at the end, so I could show you. You're golden, but honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mess and then just hope that I could show.
Yeah, Kelly giving Shane a few flashes there. Liam and Kelly there leaning on each other a little bit. Bozzy Boy gets through once again, and I tell you what, who's that? Who's that? Was that Kelly?
Keeping his nose clean and staying out of trouble.
In the back of Stowe. Bryn! No!
Getting hype when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up in the...
Max comes across to look up the inside into turn 1. Dean hasn't shut the door. Has Max gone deep?
I was born when I watched the elevator.
Max on the inside of Dean. He taps Dean round.
All in when I show.
He's got to come fully across to the left. Don't give Max a sniff up the inside on the last lap. Max is going to have a look at the inside, is he? Dean comes across a bit more. Max thinks of it. Now he goes up the inside. Does he get it stopped? Big slide, big spin. Dean's hit him. Oh, Dean's hit him. Argent's hit Dean. Oh, Boz hit it.
When I step up in the place, I was born when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate.
Can he get up the inside for the last corner? Dean comes back, just enough room there to defend from Max. Max is going to have to look up the inside. Oh dear, the rear wing's gone. And that then, is Max going to lose the race win? Is he going to yield it to Dean? What a decision. Dean Wysocki, race 2 winner once again. Max Mulder gives him the place for second. That is well, good sportsmanship there from Max. Archie Bargy on the podium for a third place.
Atomic particles traveling near the speed of light do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature.
Oh,
This is going on.
elbows out here as they come into the S's, and Max yields to place Bozzy Boy round the outside of the first bend of the S's. What's happened there is 3 abreast, 3 into 1 doesn't work. DJ Phil's backed out of it. Argent is at his, I know it's Smithy, tries to turn in, but Dean's there, so he can't turn in much more. Oh, Dean, careful on putting the power down, gets it down now, gets the traction out of the corner.
Wish you were near. I'll keep you right here beside me. I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home as the night begins to fade away to yesterday.
Oh,
he's got a look!
Down the inside of Ukbar and he hits him.
Yeah, a bit of a tap, side-by-side contact. Ukbar lost a bit of momentum there, but he's going to still have a look here. He's got to give Ukbar the room. Ukbar's up the inside.
Who's gone on to win this race?
Yeah, he's gone on to win the race. We wasn't sure about his tyre choice, but Max Mulder then, 2 race wins this season for him. Great start to his campaign this season. What a job for Rabbit Joe as well. His first outing back in the Pro-Am, and he's up on the podium in P2. There he is across the line. Buzzy Boy, as Ukbar went wide, actually gets past Ukbar now, but this man, Monkey Boy, he's going to cross the line for a P3.
Carve your name in my mind, 'cause you carved it. You carved it.
Dean has to not, in fact, he's got his nose up the inside for the next part, as he must have gone deep. Can he keep it there? At the minute, yes, it will be a double left-hander coming up. Dean can't get across because Leon Fernie's still up the inside. Leon Fernie taking the natural line. Shane will try to go around the outside, does he know? Tries to tuck back underneath.
Hold my hand in the darkness. Summer heat.
Silly rule, if you ask me. But either way, Kelly's going to come back up the inside, and Monkey Boy might make this three wide. The run the Monkey Boy's got, bails out of it. Kelly now looking up the inside of Shane. Shane gives him the place back.
Golden, honestly, you know it. Me onto the street like at the end, so I could show you. You're golden, honestly, you glow it. Me under the mess and then just hope that I could show you.
Yeah, Kelly giving Shane a few flashes there. Liam and Kelly there leaning on each other a little bit. Bozzy Boy gets through once again, and I tell you what, who's that? Who's that? Was that Kelly?
You're golden, you're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You know it. Yeah, you're golden.
Delsloff keeping his nose clean and staying out of trouble.
Honestly, you know it. Me under the street or at the end, so I could show you. Golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden.
Catch in the back of Stove. Bryn! No!
Getting hype when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. Here then, for rounds 5 and 6 of your current Pro-Am season. Apologies, just had to change the graphic on the screen there. I'd left the wrong one loaded, but I'm Mathew Duffin, joined in the commentary box once again tonight by my partner in crime, and literally in crime because he steals rear wings. Dan Davis on Orthodox. We'll never let this go this season, but how are you?
Hola, Matthew. We are in Spain. We are ready for another night's worth of exciting racing, and I don't steal rear wings. I just steal other people's talent. Yeah, but no, an exciting night towards this evening. Well, I say this evening, this morning here in Circuit de Catalunya, a circuit that I picked, and I've already said it wrong, haven't I? Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. There you go, Matthew.
Thank you very much. You did pick this track. We have 12 drivers in. We are hoping to have 15 in. There will be no Akbar tonight. He is away on holiday and therefore will miss tonight. He has tried to take his console with him and tried to make sure his connection will be good, but unfortunately it just isn't to be for him tonight. But we have this man on his 100th appearance, Dan, for the very first race this evening. And another man in race 1 that will make his 150th is a man who's currently doing rather well. It's Dean Wasocki in second place in the championship and has won 2 races this year. He will make his 150th in race 1, as well as KLF, his 100th in race 1. And of course, as we say at the minute, Porsche need 2 wins for their 50th manufacturer race win, because now the Lamborghini are tied with them. They only need 2 race wins. They'll possibly get 2 race wins tomorrow night, because that's the way Pro has gone. There is no Lamborghinis tonight to do that. But we are in for a fantastic night, a fantastic evening, whether you're watching it. These guys are in for a fantastic morning over it in Spain, as we've just
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for another track guide here at Circuit of the Americas, round 2 of the championship.
With his track guide in just a moment, because I've got the wrong one loaded. Dan, while we wait for this one then, Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, a very tricky track to get right for these drivers.
Yeah, definitely a circuit that requires a lot of patience and a lot of skill. A circuit, obviously, the F1s come to do their season testing. It has a bit of everything: high speed, low speed, and elevation changes as well. Very, very famous circuit as well for the two Mercedes drivers coming together, as you'll see in my track guide in a moment's time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Simplay Motorsport for another track guide of your season ahead of us. Here tonight, we have got the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya for the next round of the championship, chosen by myself. And what an interesting night we have ahead. We have a circuit that is 2.9 miles long with an elevation change of 180 feet. It was opened in 1991 with an FI grade 1 with 16 corners and runs in a clockwise direction. And we are joined with the Simplay Acura once again as it heads down towards turn 1, 695 meters towards turn 1 from pole position here this evening. It's a very long run down towards turn 1. Famously, where Sebastian Vettel did a dummy on Valtteri Bottas back in 2017. Once you get turn 1 dialed in, you'll be then thrown into turn 2 and 3, a very long corner where also Fernando Alonso went right round the outside of a few cars in his Ferrari. The race start is going to be very, very important here, and obviously with the long straight towards turn 1, that gives an opportunity of a slipstream towards turn 1. So race start is going to be key for opportunities to gain positions. As you can see, all the cars here jostling for position, trying to get themselves into a comfortable position so they can set themselves up for turn 1, 2 and 3. But also with turn 1, it is also a very good overtaking opportunity, as is turn 3 as well. It's all about getting your car hooked up as best you can through this sector. And as you can see, if you do get a great run down the main straight, you'll get a brilliant slipstream as the Acuras get in, and it goes down the inside of the Porsche 911, hugs the apex, and then gains that position, gets a great run through turn 2, and then heads up towards turn 3. Which then leads you on to turn 4, the most famous corner on this circuit, possibly from the contact between Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg back in 2016, and Max Verstappen gaining his first ever race win for Red Bull and for his career because of those two taking each other out in that corner. Another great opportunity to get overtakes down, as you can see there, your car down the inside. He then slings them shot into turn 5, and again another opportunity to make places as well. Not often you gain many positions here, but if you get a good enough run, as the Acura does, you can slingshot it down the inside, making sure you get a good run through this corner, because it will then set you up into 6 and 7 and 8. And you can see here, once again, the Acura down the inside, getting the brakes done on the other Simplay Acura, and trying to get a great run behind the Renault. As I said, it then leads you into turn 5, which is not really a corner, then into turn 6 and 7, which is the chicane. And make sure you don't run too much on that chicane, because the curves are quite lethal around there. Which then leads you up into the long right-hander of turn 7, making sure you get a great run through there, because it will give you a great opportunity to get a good slingshot down the back straight towards turn 8. And as you can see here, the Renault here, just a little bit slow for the chicane. This has allowed the Acura to get right on the rear wing of it. We get a great run through turn 7, which then gives us a good opportunity to send it down the inside of turn 8. Comes out of the slipstream, brakes at the 100-meter board, and down towards the apex we go, making sure we hit that apex, get a good run out the corner, because it will then send us up towards 9, 10, and 11. As you can see here, all over the back, the flames spitting right out the back of the Acura, and all over the back of the Renault. This is where slipstream is going to work at its best. Down the inside it goes, and through we go up another position. Heading towards 9, 10 and 11. Again, a Mickey Mouse section, as KLF would probably describe it as. making sure you're patient on the power through this right-hander, because it will be tricky to make sure you stay on track without taking too much curb. Then into the final few sectors now, into a right-hander and into your final chicane. Make sure you take the chicane with caution, because if you go over the chicane too much and go out track limits, the stewards will be reviewing it and making sure that you stay within limits. Slingshot yourself out of the final corner and then towards the start finish line, and hopefully all that together will produce such a brilliant lap for yourself and put you on pole position. Saying that, this final sector though is very tricky to overtake. There's no real good opportunities to overtake, so you kind of have to be patient. Make sure you do all your saving of patience towards the end of this corner, because it will then give you the best opportunity to attack down into turn 1. And that is a lap of the circuit. These are your lap times here. The lap record set in Pro has been done by Big Boy Brazier, both quali and race, and your Pro-Am records have been done by Fury and Argent in the qualifying and race. That is a great rundown of the circuit, a brilliant circuit to come to, and tyre management is going to be a massive thing because the tyres will be going through a heat cycle. Best of luck to all the guys in the sessions, Pro and Pro-Am, and we will now head back to the guys in the commentary box.
Thanks for that then, Dan. And here then is your circuit to Barcelona, Catalunya track guide. Then the information of the track: a 4.675 kilometre track, 2.905 in miles, an elevation change of 26.8 metres, 180 feet from the highest point of the circuit to the lowest. It opened in 1991, exactly a year before I was born, which makes it a 31-year-old circuit. It's an FIA Grade 1 track. It has 16 turns, and as we figured out last night, it's got 9 to the right and 7 to the left. And it is a clockwise track. The Pro-Am lap records that you need to be aware of tonight that could, and possibly looking at the standings at the moment, would be broken. Pro-Am qualifying a 44.8 done by BT Targa in the Mercedes. You wouldn't think he's a Pro-Am driver given his calibre, but was there in the time. And the Pro-Am brakes record of Fury of a 1 minute 46.2 is the race record. Multiple drivers have one pole position around here. Only one man has the most wins. That man is Fury CBK with 2 race wins to his name. And as you're about to see in a moment, that Pro record could be broken by the man we're on board. He's had a bit of a spin down out of turn 2, but absolutely great stuff at the moment from Shane. Fantastic lap time.
Yeah, definitely so. But lap time's one thing, but keeping it consistent is another thing. Obviously, we know, especially myself and Mathew, we know in the Pro that it's one thing putting in a good lap time, but they're backing it up with it. The likes of Overtaker at the minute, especially, could do that. Lap times and then keep those lap times up. Right now, Shane is in the 44s, and this is the kind of pace we're looking at for the Pro guys anyway. So Shane already on level with Pro level pace, but at the minute, the other guys should be a little bit worried. But I still think that the Porsche 911 boys should have a very good advantage here, especially. I believe, what was it, season 2 we ran the Catalunya? No, season 3. Season 3 we ran at Catalunya, and it was myself versus Big Boy Brazier, and the camera was being rubbish. No, it was Big Boy who was the big threat around here. His Audi was very, very, very strong. I don't think anyone got anywhere near him, but no, my Porsche was very, very good round here, and it always felt good round here. So I think all the Porsche guys should be strong, but also the Acura should be all right as well. We've actually recently learned that the Acura, even though it's a relatively slow car at top speed, but getting to that top speed doesn't take too very long. It's actually quite a quick car in the traction zone. So the Acura around here with no real longer straights could actually benefit as well. But at the minute, the Ferrari is looking the car to beat here tonight, with Shane leading the way.
It is indeed then. Your championship standings are as follows then. And Max Mulder leads the way, 27 points clear of Dean Wasocki then, with Monkey Boy in 3rd place on 58. KLF dropped to 4th, he's on 50. Ukbal not here tonight on 43, a shame for him, as Shane P6, 3 points off the back of Ukbal. Rabbit Joe, 7th place after a great week last week on 30 points. Smithy then on 27, with DJ Phil 25. Stealth Sloth tied with him on 25. That Bozzy Boy 1 point behind him. Leon Fernie on 20 points with Argent on 17. Welshie P14 on 13 points, and Lucas Roth and Brent tied on 7 at the rear. And Your Constructors' Championship looks a little like this. SRL Racing Team of Max and Leon Fernie are 1 point ahead of Audio Sport and Two Old Pros, and they're 23 ahead of Wakasaki Racing. Terminal Velocity Racing then are P4, kind of on their own at the moment. They're well behind Wakasaki, but well ahead of the Super Crash Bros, who are P5, 3 points clear of the SFA Acora Racing Team. MC Motorsport are 7th, 1 point ahead of Simplay Racing. Then, Danny, you can still see the graphic on screen now. That as well, there is 540 Drivers' Championship points up for grabs and 940 Constructors' points up for grabs in this season, Dan. And what a season it is going to prove to be.
Well, yeah, definitely so. But the problem is, though, is we've had 2 rounds, so we've had 2 of the same results. And it's been this man, oh, I say this man, there he is. This man's been on top of race 1. He has been the man to beat, but obviously, I think he's had a week where he's just chilled out a little bit too much. And he said in the Discord that he's not had a lot of practice. He didn't even realise it was race day. And he said he might be a bit tired this evening. So we'll see what Max can do this evening. But he's been the man for race 1. But the other man who's been there for race 2 has been this man, Dean Wasaki. I think, would you say, is his 150th this
150th in his race 1 is his 150th, yeah.
Well, let's see what he could do in his 151st, because it seems to be a race 2 expert at the minute. Obviously, the wet weather advantage at Oschersleben and just the Kota chaos that people just struggling to get Kota right. We've got a completely new challenge here with a morning race and soft tyres at a circuit that usually runs hard.
We've had 3 drivers in Pro-Am take pole position, then Leon Fernie, Max Mulder has 2, Leon Fernie has 1, and Ukbar has 1 to his name. And like Dan's just said, we've had 2 drivers win. Max Mulder race 1s, Dean Wasaki race 2 at the moment. And Dan, does Dean Wasaki surprise you of taking a race win this year? Because we spoke a lot pre-season of who we think the fight in this championship's going to be between, and there was 6 or 7 names mentioned. Dean's teammate Liam, that Bozzy boy, was one of them to maybe take a couple of wins. Dean wasn't really. Is that a surprise for you, how well he's doing at the moment this season?
It is indeed, and for some reason, this game only wants to pick up Shane, for some bizarre reason. No, it hasn't surprised me, really, because obviously with the way the season has panned out, or the choices of track has panned out, the season is very much a chassis circuit. There's only a couple of power circuits that we actually go through, probably Watkins Glen, Daytona, and also Kota would have probably been a bit of a power circuit as well. But the way this season's panned out, it's always going to be about what car everyone's going to be comfortable in. And Dean has just seemed to have come to that Acora like a duck to water, basically, as the Monkey Boy is struggling to sort out his duck to water moment right now, as he gets it spun back around. But he doesn't want to do that too much, because even though Dean might have found the nice setup here for his Acora, might have found the sweet spot, this is going to be one of those races where the soft tyre is going to be on a knife edge. Yeah. We have known in the past, especially in Season 3, that this track deals with a heat cycle where the tyres can go through a hot temperature, but then they come back down and they drop pressure and they get back to this kind of happy zone. So keep an eye out for lap 4, maybe lap 5 as well, where the cars are just going to be a bit unsettled because those tyres are going to be in a heat cycle. But some of the drivers are tempted to the hard tyre if they can keep the temperature up. They're not going to be as fast, but the tyre will be more consistent.
I think going off the testing that I've been doing, it's kind of lap 3 to 6 is kind of the window of the heat phase, and then sort of lap 7, 8 is where the tyre will start to cool a little quicker and faster and come back to you for the rest of the race. An 18-lap race here where the pit window will open at the end of lap 4, and a very, very tricky circuit. Dan, the circuit, the Barcelona Catalunya circuit, is a track of kind of 2 parts, if you will. You've got the sectors 1 and 2, which is a nice flowing, bendy corners that just kind of have a flow to them, and then you get that final sector, and the final sector really tightens up. The track gets narrow, the corners are sharper, really tightens up, less overtaking opportunities in that final sector. That's kind of a challenge. These always bring there, just a little tap on the back of DJ Phil. Phil slow through the first corner, but this is a challenge for the drivers tonight. They go through 2/3 of the lap, flowing and nice straights, good flowing corners into a final sector that is so tight and twisty. It's going to be interesting to keep an eye on who does what.
Yeah, we're just quickly on board with Bryn as he's going around. Obviously, the track guide gives you so much information, but we'll go on board with him just so you guys can see really what these guys are facing in these conditions. Looks like we've got clear sky conditions, but you're right, Matt. Sector 1 is very much I would say a high-speed corner section. Turn 1 is very slow, but turn 2, turn 3, they're relatively medium to high-speed corners. You're going to be reaching a decent amount of speed through there. Then it's the sector 2 is kind of split with two kind of ways. It starts off slow but ramps up very, very quick. Track limits is something to keep an eye on here as well. But for me, it's the final sector that is where it's won or lost. It's all being well and good that you're very good through sector 1 and sector 2, but the final sector, as you can see here, Bryn struggling. This whole section is it's very tricky. You need to make sure you have the car underneath you. Make sure you have a comfortable setup, especially on power, because you have too much power and the wheels want to spin up. In that long right-hander that we were just in, the car just can't handle it. And then into the final chicane, these bumps are the curbs are very lethal, so the car will come unsettled as well. Do not touch that inside curb because you will go around. It's such a tricky section to get right. I actually prefer the old original layout. I can't remember exactly when it got changed, but the original circuit, if I try and go aboard with someone in that final sector, here we go, Lucas Roth, if he stays on it, he goes round, which doesn't really help my cause. But instead of turning right straight away, you would take the MotoGP loop, which misses the chicane completely. And I used to miss that kind of section because I thought that it was a lot better flowing circuit than this final sector. And obviously now with the way the F1 rules are and the way that the cars are too fast for that hairpin, they've now given it a swooping bend in the final sector as well. So it's a circuit that I think over the years has been tweaked in the wrong way. But nonetheless, it's still a great circuit to kind of test as a driver.
And as we know, obviously, this game being relatively old, obviously, we can only drive what we have in front of us. Obviously, this corner here, in the real world, has been opened up a bit more, which makes this left-hander of this first part that Kelly's coming to now, this left-hander now, a nothing part of the track, hasn't it? Because the hairpin has been altered ever so slightly as well. But I agree, the other layout what seemed a little better for the drivers, but I think the chicane gives an added element of, especially for a qualifying, Dan, I don't know about you, is it's easy to sort of take a bit slower in the race because you know it's not really an overtaking opportunity. In the qualifying, though, that last sector is do or die. You can gain so much time, you can lose so much time. I know from an experience last month, when I had the privilege of being in a fantastic cockpit in Switzerland, driving this track, that's where I was losing my race time, and quality time, and overall lap time. And I felt that the same coming back here and onto my own sim rig on this last sector is where I'm struggling the most in terms of overall lap time. Just because it's so easy to hit the sausage curb, it's so easy to just run a little wide, and because it's so tight and it's corner after corner, you've got to nail it every lap. Qualifying, I think last sector more important. I don't know about yourself.
Yeah, I think the final sector is really... I think you attack Sector 1 and Sector 2 as hard as you can, try and get the best out of the car, and then Sector 3 is kind of hope and pray that you manage to get through it. But there's one thing that I think you'll notice from the Pro-Ams and from the pros especially, if I go on board with Liam, there's one thing to point out. He'll come to the hairpin, then we come to that left-hander you're talking about, Matthew, that is really a no corner. I think if the guys have set the cars up correctly, I have got my car to do this, but Liam might avoid this curb. He barely touches it.
Yeah.
On my setup, I can run that curb as hard as I like. And that's, I think, going to be the difference, is that confidence in the car that you can just throw it into this section. But a lot of these guys, you could just hear Liam, he's a bit sensitive through this section. He doesn't have the confidence to nail it.
Very tentative on the throttle, isn't he, to sort of put the foot down and get the confidence going through. But hey, is Liam just tweaking a setup? Is Liam just getting into the rhythm? He's got 2 seconds left. I think he did cross the line in time to do one more lap, so we'll get one more run at it. Liam is down in 7th place. That is all she wrote for Argy Bargy, though, down in 4th at the moment. And seeing as everybody's got a nickname in Pro, you know, we've got Richie Rich and Undertaker and N-Dubs, Argy Bargy feels appropriate that we stick with Kelly and Smithy's nicknaming sort of basis here.
And you got the Wakasaki windmill as well.
You got the Welshie windmill, the Wakasaki windmill. We've got the peaceful pirouette on a Thursday night. I know Mike's in the chat, so we've got the peaceful pirouette. You've got the Duffin chop, famous from Pro-Am a couple of seasons ago, brought to us by Kelly Davis. We've got the Sooty Send It. We've got all the Sooty Send It, the Liam Lunge, the Dan Dive, if you will. And we're not going to dive into the rear ends of Mercedes. We'll leave that
boy within half a second.
Yeah, very interesting to see.
A shame there, but it is going to be Demon Stocking next towards the line. And what I like about this camera, I can see who actually comes out the final corner, so we can see where they come across. He just jumps ahead of Leon Fernie, but the man that we are a little bit shocked at the minute right now it's Max who's just straight line the chicane.
Oh,
He is coming
one- oh,
straight into the
Right.
pits.
While he's coming into the pit, sorry, one thing I forgot to mention, the pit lane, ladies and gentlemen, the pit lane. I hope drivers have tested this because I did it last night and it was only in a practice session, so I didn't get a speeding penalty. But I would have been well over the limit. You are literally, and I'll describe it while we stay on board Bozzy, you get this section right, you get it bang on. You come through the left, over the right, taking as much curb as you can. You then bail into the pits, and the pit limit, look, they're there, there's the cones, right on it. So just as you're putting the power down out the chicane, you've got to whack on the brakes. So if drivers haven't tested this tonight, we could see some drive-through penalties coming in, or some time penalties coming into the pits a little later on. Dan, practice done then. Shane, your quickest man, half a second from Monkey Boy. Rabbit Joe Argent, Dean Wasocki, your top 5. But who's your tip for pole position on Orthodubs? Dan Davis, talk us through it.
Well, look, first things first, I wanted to ask Matt, do we like Circuit Catalunya?
No.
No.
I've always been a fan, and you can ask Mazda and my brother and my dad every time I've driven this track on a game. Oh, well then, we know someone who's not getting pole position. Load the graphic up, Dan. How many is that? Is that just the one, or is that 2?
Oh.
It is just the one grid place penalty, then. So Kelly will not be on pole position. But going back to it, you ask... Welshie will not be on pole position. They're all at it here. I said you've got to watch for pit-in, boys, not at your own garage. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Careful of that white line. Welshie, careful of the white line, because you'll get another penalty again.
Back to your question. You ask Mazda, my brother and my dad... Love the track as a fan. I think it's brilliant from the spectator point of view. Do I like it as a driver? No. Purely because of that last sector we mentioned earlier.
See, I'm the complete opposite. I think it's a dull race to watch, and I think it's a dull as a spectator. But on the other hand, I do quite enjoy driving it. When you do get the right setup, when you do have the right flow of the circuit, it's actually quite an enjoyable circuit. But... I would agree. It's not up there with one of my all-time favourites, and I don't think it ever will be. But
I feel that me and you, Dan,
Go on.
have two very sort of... I enjoy, like, Interlagos kind of tracks. You know, something that you're...
Interlagos.
That's kind of my track. I feel that you sort of seem to drive better on these kind of circuits. You like Oschersleben seems to suit your driving style. You know, Catalunya seems to do quite well for you.
We know my all-time favourite. We don't we?
Canada?
No. You had to say that with the...
I'm just trying to think of where we've made contact as possibly being one of your favourite tracks.
We actually haven't raced on it, but we will this season for the first time.
Oh, Sonoma?
No.
No. We will race on it for the first time. What have we not had?
Me and Sutty always go there. We're trying to outdo one another.
Ah, Bathurst. Yes.
Mount Panorama.
Whereas I detest it.
Where you detest it. I think it's a circuit again. It seems to be a flow where you like the power circuits, while I tend to like the kind of more technical circuits. But nonetheless, KLF will come across the line to start his qualifying lap. I believe it is that Bozzy boy who will be first. No, is it Dean? Yes, it is Dean. After Shane's camera has decided to be a bit weird, and I don't know why it's done it. But tip for pole, Matt. I'm gonna go with Monkey Boy. I reckon he's got a setup underneath that Porsche that's going to put him on pole.
I find it hard to look past Shane at the moment based off that practice time, but hey, that's our tips.
I didn't want to be boring, you know.
Yeah, yes, true.
You're going for Shane. I'm going to go for Monkey Boy. I believe that the Porsche is probably the all-round best car around here, and you're going for the Ferrari.
6 votes in the chat, and they've only voted between Argent, Monkey Boy, Rabbit Joe and Shane. They've only voted for Shane and Monkey Boy. Would you believe it? Shane winning that vote 67% to 33. You've got about 4 minutes to get your vote in for qualifying. Who you think will get pole position, so make sure you get your vote in for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as well as hit the bell to be notified. And yes, Max Mulder then coming through the final corner. Lucas Roth is set to provisional time. Ignore that. That is utter rubbish, and will obviously be beaten very rapidly the next time he comes around then on Orthodubs, as the drivers are coming to the end of their lap. And I do believe Dean Wasocki, you said, was the first driver to set a lap time.
And it will be.
Now then, Max back into the pit lane. Dean then, provisional 46.6. Not a bad benchmark for Dean Wysocki. Kelly crosses line of 47.2. That's Rabbit Joe behind him, a 45.6. Then comes Lucas Roth, improves to a 45.8. Then in the background is Welshie. No Stealth Sloth, I've noticed at the minute, Dan. He goes into P5. Smithy then to cross the line. Where will he be? He will jump into P6. Argy Bargy will cross the line. He's then going to go into P8. And Shane, only P7 at the moment. No Stealth Sloth, I've just noticed at the minute, so hopefully he does get in. And Max there, back into the pit lane, Dan, after the end of his outlap.
Yeah, I think he's just struggling with setup. Like he said in the chat, he's just struggling to find that right setup for him at the minute, and he's back in the pits. Obviously, he wasn't happy with something, so he's gone straight back in. DJ Phil, I think, had a moment, or Bryn, someone had a moment in the final sector. We'll find out in a second. Bryn comes to the line now in the Ferrari. What can he do? He goes P4. Was it Monkey Boy who had the moment? Yes, it was.
Possibly so, yes.
So DJ Phil only now starting his lap.
Now, Rabbit Joe... Sorry, Dan. Rabbit Joe and Lucas Roth. Got to be a little careful here because Monkey Boy and they've let them both go. So great stuff there from the two Simplay Racing drivers to realise that Monkey Boy and Bryn was coming down on a flying lap. Obviously, drivers in qualifying cannot block and hold another driver. The blue flag rule is obviously an endurance rule, but you cannot hamper someone's driver in qualifying, Max Verstappen, for doing anything. Otherwise, it's just, as we know, it's just a reprimand, Dan.
It is just a reprimand, but if it's in the race... Then go for it.
Speaking of Max Verstappen, I think we need to look at over McDisco Takerface Racing, Dan, and see if they've gone over their budget cap. What do you reckon? I think we need to have an FIA investigation into this as to why Overtaker is so fast. Dean Wysocki to the line, doesn't improve on his time. What about KLF? With a grid penalty, goes P3, but will give that place back to Dean Wysocki because of the grid penalty.
Shane's in a really bad position right now. He's stuck behind the two SFA Acora Racing team, and they're both not really improving on their lap times there. I don't know if Smithy's trying to tow Argent round. They come to the line now. Does Shane improve? He does. He does. Just.
Yeah, a 10th quicker than Rabbit Joe. We nose on an outlap then. And Smithy, where did he go? He stays 10th. Argent goes 6th. Smithy goes to the pits as well. So that's one car out of his way. I believe you're possibly right there. Bossy Boy up into 7th place now, ahead of Bryn at the minute. Leon Fernie will be promoted to 9th place with Walsh's penalty, and KLF will be demoted behind Dean. Dean and Smithy in the pits, but I believe Dean Wysocki is emerging from the pit lane. Yes, he has. He's back out on track, and Monkey Boy there just looked rather casual, as Dean has to be aware of DJ Phil coming down the start line. He's now gone 10th ahead of Leon Fernie. Rabbit Joe, and I believe that was Keegs in front of him, Lucas Roth. It might have been Welsh actually in front of him then. No, Welshie's behind him.
No, it was Keegs. It was Keegs.
Yeah, Keegs and Joe on outlaps. Welshie to the line. Any improvement on his P9? Not this time around. Dan, looking at my time screen, everybody's got green or white sectors. Nobody setting purple sector time. Shane, green through sector 1. So on a personal best lap here. I did see, the last time I saw a purple sector was KLF was purple middle sector, but I was on his first flying lap. So we'll have to keep our eyes out. Don't forget, just because they've not set purple sectors, how are they improving? They can be doing personal best and be hooking it up together, as Leon Fernie then has ruined his lap time, was on a personal best sector 1 and 2, and that is ruined going into this final chicane now. Kelly, that all looked a little casual. Has he had a slowdown lap?
No. He's setting himself up. He's making sure his tyres are in the right window, and now he's nailing it out the final corner. So Kelly going for one real last attempt here.
That could be very smart.
That could have been very smart. Last person on track. Last person to set a lap time here. Max towards the line. He's currently last after dominating qualifying. He is currently last at the minute. Towards the line he comes. Has he finally got some time underneath him? He goes
yes,
pole.
He has. 0.2 of a second on pole provisionally from Shane then. As Monkey Boy to the line, he does no improvement. He's now down in last stand. He's not improved yet. So your tip for pole, currently down in P14 at the minute. Here comes Lucas Roth. There's a bit of traffic in front. One of them is Bryn, just in front, and the other sounded like the Ginetta of DJ Phil. I'm not sure who's ahead of DJ Phil. It is a car crossing the line. Keep your eyes on the timing screen. I didn't see anybody change there. That might have been Dean on his outlap. DJ Phil doesn't improve. What about Bryn? Any improvements from him? He improves but stays. In fact, no, goes to P6. Lucas Roth, he can't improve on P4. Rabbit Joe next to cross the line. Any improvement for him? These will all get one more run. Yes. Rabbit Joe goes provisional pole by 0.3 of a second. And does he carry on in there? Welshie, next man to the line then. Who's just come through sector 2? I'm not too sure. But here comes Welshie then. Can he get to the line and improve? No, he can't this time around.
I have a feeling that is... no, it's not Bozzy. I think Rabbit Joe's done. He can't improve any more than that. Who is that coming into the final sector? KLF is there, so I think
that's
possibly
Max in front. No, is that Liam?
Arjun.
It is Argy Bargy then. Now,
Arjun's
has
waiting.
he just done what Kelly's done and set himself up for this lap?
Done.
Lucas done, Rabbit Joe done, Smithy done, Argent going
There's
for
an
this
Audi.
run then. Kelly,
There's an Audi in
Max,
the way.
that's Leon
Max.
Fernie. That's Leon Fernie. It had yellow on his car. I believe that is Leon Fernie, who has slowed down. Kelly's bailed. So Kelly's done. Now I believe, just double check, but I believe that was Leon Fernie coming to the line. There then, it was indeed. That's Shane behind him. We've seen Shane in the 44s. Has he had a clear run this time around? Is he going to be in the 44s? No. Gets one last run. Monkey Boy, back row at the minute for him. Can he find any time? He does, and puts himself into P2. And then the car behind is, I believe that is Max behind, and he cannot take pole.
But he's
I
got one
think
more
he
lap.
got one more run in. Right, next car, Dean Wasocki, I do believe it was, who is the next man to finish his lap. Yes, it is, followed home by his teammate, that Bozzy Boy. Dean Wasocki was up at Sector 2. Any improvement? Only P7. Bozzy Boy to the line. No improvement. That's P10 for him. DJ Phil, he improves to P11. Bryn then, he stays P8. Dean will be above Kelly in that qualifying session, Dan, due to Kelly's penalty.
Leon's dropped it. Shane's dropped it. Shane will not improve.
So is that game over? It is Max and Argent on a lap time here then. Leon Fernie's back in the pits. He's done. He
And
will be
Monkey
13th on the grid. Monkey Boy is out on a lap as well. So can Monkey Boy take pole? Max still on a lap. Monkey Boy still on a lap. Kelly will be down the order, but we don't know where yet because this man is still on a lap time. Welshie will be starting P13 with his penalty. Leon Fernie will be starting P12.
Here's Monkey Boy up. 2/10 he needs to find. He's up by 2/10. So he just needs to find one more tenth in the final sector and he will be on pole position. Argent in the final corner now. What can he do? Is he going to get any higher than 9th? Can he get himself near the front end of the grid? No.
Stays P9. So then, Monkey Boy, 0.2 of a second up. It's Max behind him. We're not sure what Max is doing. Green sectors 1 for Max and Monkey Boy. No personal best is sector 2 for the drivers, though. What does Monkey Boy need? He was 0.2 up. He needs 2.5 tenths, if not a little bit more. Can Monkey Boy take his first pole position of the season to the line for the Porsche driver? It's not enough for Monkey Boy. Max Mulder now needs 3 tenths. And he hasn't done it. So Rabbit Joe, pole position for him. Dan, talk us through the grid while I input the data.
Well, I did say a Porsche would be on pole, but I got the wrong Porsche. It is Rabbit Joe taking his first pole position this season with Monkey Boy starting on the front row with him. Max Mulder will start in 3rd place with Shane with all that pace in practice will start in P4. P5 goes away with Lucas Ruff. KLF will start P6, but he will have that grid penalty that will demote him down to P7, but promote Dean up into 6th. Bryn will start 8th. 9th is Argent. 10th will be that Buzzy Boy. 11th is DJ Phil. Welshie would have started 12th, but again, he'll be demoted down to 13th. Leon Fernie will start 12th, and bringing up the rear is Smithy. And that is your order for race 1 here at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. And what a pole out from Rabbit Joe. He pulled it out, Matt.
He pulled it out the bag. It was a fantastic time. Nobody even voted for Rabbit Joe in the chat.
Do you remember, Matt, season 3, Rabbit Joe in the Pro, in the Porsche 911, the same colour that KLF is running, and he started, I believe it was 4th on the grid. Started behind myself and Jamie, and he had the start of his life. He went into turn 1 leading.
If I remember right, Joe and Liam led race 2 as well. Joe got a good start in race 2. Joe led race 1 and then span and dropped back, ended up qualifying for race 2, was behind Andy and Emo Guy, and jumped them 2 with Liam in the Audi. Joe's just put in the chat, even I voted for Shane. Even he voted for Shane and yet has taken pole position himself. In terms then of the stats, that gives Porsche its 37th pole position, tied now with the BMW for 37 pole positions. It's 11 pole position in the Pro-Am, and that's Rabbit Joe's first of the season, tying him with Peaceful Explosion on 10 pole positions apiece. Joe now 3 pole positions behind myself and Mazda. 13 poles, that's not a lot, I've just noticed for myself. There, work to do in qualifying.
Yeah, but it's not all about pole positions.
No, it's not.
I've barely have any pole positions. So they've only been ramped up thanks to F2. But
yes.
either way,
yes, yes. In terms of GT3s,
F2
that kind of
saved
went the way of Andy, didn't it? In terms of pole position during
And I
your
think also-
GT3 days.
And I think as well, the one-shot qualifying that is offered in F2 as well, you do have to kind of play it safe at times. So, but either way, Rabbit Joe on pole position. This is going to be an exciting first race tonight, Matt.
And if people, it is going to be an exciting race. PN saying that my mic is a little crackly. That is, I do believe, a headset problem. I'll have to get that one looked into. But it's green and go here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Kelly looks like he's got a good start, and he's already barging doors with what seems to be Dean Wysocki in that mid-pack then. As they come down towards turn one, it's a great start. Rabbit Joe and Monkey Boy all heading down towards the first corner now. Dean trying to be split by Bryn. Bozzy Boy's going to look upside the inside of Kelly, and Kelly, little tap on the rear of Lucas Roth. Shane seemed very slow through turn one. Not sure why. He's been passed by Max and Lucas then. That is a car on the gravel, and all contact made, and I do believe that is Argy Bargy and Bozzy Boy, and a third car was involved. I'm not sure who though, as they come through. Kelly's 100th, Dean Wystocki's 150th, and Kelly looking up the inside of Lucas Roth, P5, thank you Mama, for the carrots tapped round.
Yeah, it's been tapped round. Has everybody managed to avoid him? I don't think so. Who is that? Arjun's managed to get involved. No, Smithy, sorry. Smithy managed to get involved in that. But it is Rabbit Joe who leads away from Monkey Boy, from Max, from Shane in P4. Lucas Roth holding it off in P5. P6 is Bryn. Leon Fernie up into 7th, and 8th is that Bozzy Boy. Phil and the rest of the guys, I think, have all been caught up with KLF spin thanks to Lucas Roth.
Yep, Lucas Roth tapping Kelly round then, and Kelly's not going to be very happy with that one then as they come towards the middle sector here then in this first lap of the race. It's Joe who's gapped Monkey Boy something crazy already. Monkey Boy goes a little defensive at the last moment there on Max Mulder, and Max just not close enough at the minute. Shane just in the background in P4. What can he do as that is a very wide, I do believe that was that Bozzy Boy with Leon Fernie on the back of him. That is a very wide Kieran Argent.
Very, very wide. I don't know. You meant to stay on the grey stuff there, Argent, not the red. But either way, he's got to go. But look at these four really up behind one another. And I believe Shane, Matt, actually made contact with the back of Monkey Boy going into turn one. That was why he was very slow. And he didn't really get a good run. The two Porsches managed to disappear, but Rabbit Joe, look at his start already. He has gained nearly a second on Monkey Boy as they're too busy fighting one another. Yep,
they're too busy squabbling, and Max looking up the inside of Monkey Boy, and they hit the brakes into turn one for the first time at full racing speed, and Max was just a little deep. And Kelly, Dan, already in the pits. That's an early stop. The pit window's not till lap 4, so KLF is... okay, that might have to be an early pit stop check for KLF then.
Is it drive-through?
Oh, I thought he got a good start. Now, let's stay on board a second.
There is a pit crew there, but I don't know.
I think it's a drive-through, Dan.
No, it is a drive-through.
It is, yeah. Yeah. So then, KLF, he got a good start, but it was a jump start from Kelly, so his race goes from bad to worse then. An early drive-through, and he's got to pit. Dean Wysocki now on the back of DJ Phil with his teammate from last season on the back of him. So 100th race, not good, not the way to do it for KLF. Dean's 150th, not going the way he wants. Needs to nail race 2. Look at these three, though. Now on the back of Rabbit Joe. Shane's dropped off the back of these a little bit. Monkey Boy sliding down the back straight. Is Matt's going to look up the inside into the hairpin? Monkey Boy can't close the door anymore, and that for Max is a position gained, is it? Monkey Boy off the track. He's going to have to yield that one. Oh, whoa. And I believe that was all because of the curb. Yes. That was on 2 wheels. Well. That was 2 wheels through there, Dan. And that for Max was all curb.
I believe that was curb. I've actually hit that curb with a not very good stable setup and gone on 2 wheels. So it's very much likely that that is what's happened there to Max. So after a dominant first 2 rounds, this one is going downhill very, very fast.
Looks like we could get a 3rd race winner of the season, and as Leon Fernie nearly goes into the back of Dean Wysocki there. Max now on the back of Bozzy Boy, and we know Bozzy Boy can be a bit difficult to overtake. Dean's trying to get past DJ Phil in the background, and Bryn now sitting pretty. Dean will get past DJ Phil because he was off to, I think, Madrid there, not Barcelona. He was well off in the background, did well to avoid the wall, and DJ Phil loses 2 places. What has happened, Dan, to Argy Bargy?
Maybe he's carrying the damage and he's trying to go as long as he can. You can see he's moving to the middle of the circuit there. It looks like he's possibly suffering maybe with suspension damage, and he's just trying to hang in there until the end of to at least the pit window.
Potentially so then, Dan, as Bozzy Boy and Max have just seen their names change. Are they? That could be why. They're very close together, and Bozzy here
I think
gives
it's
him...
Bryn.
Oh, I love the camera angle. It's brilliant, this. I don't know what's happening there.
I think Bryn's dropped it.
Yeah, Bryn has dropped it. Yeah, you might be right, actually. That's because Bryn's now behind Dean Wysocki.
Yeah, I think he was in that fight with Max and Liam, and Liam has managed to gain in a position from it, while Bryn has dropped down the order. Whoa, Lucas Roth in the background. That's a disco line.
Very wide. Very, very wide there. And Dean Wysocki then. Liam then. Just Max gives him a flash to say, look, pal, I'm still there. You can't come across anymore. And Liam, Lucas Roth. Lucas Roth's round. Max and Liam door to door, bashing each other. Max there last time hit that curb hard. He's managed to get through this time, and Liam gets back in front and
Max
comes
gets the
right. Brilliant move from Max. That Liam now he's got to hang it around the outside. This is going to be brave. We said you can't overtake at this final sector, and Liam. Is he going to yield? No, of course he's not. He has to now, though.
Brilliant racing there from these boys. Very, very respectful there. Liam just gave enough space. And you see in the background, Lucas Roth really hanging it sideways. He was saying in chat he was going to try and do it the tyre, and I think he might be, because that Porsche is loose. Yeah, that is loosey-goosey. Bryn on the back of Dean Wysocki now. Then this for 7th place, former teammates back in Season 5, Dan. And now Dean Wysocki once again. In fact, who hasn't Dean teamed with on this Pro-Am grid? The only person who's not here is Alfie. Dean hasn't teamed with. Max. He's been with Monkey Boy. He's been with... Where is Max? He's there. What has happened? What's happened, Dan? I think he's either gone straight on at turn 1 or Liam's hit him. Either way, Max went straight on, and Liam now gains the position back. Obviously, I have to change to that camera because Shane and KLF is bugging out the lobby, which is really annoying.
I think we might just have to jump on board one of the drivers as we come through turn 4. But Liam leads from Max and Lucas Roth's gaining on the back of these two. Out front, the top 3 have checked out. And I'll tell you what, Dean and Bryn not a million miles off the back of this pack. Here is Dean and Bryn. And we've seen we're doing the highlights down this season for each week. We've seen a lot of Dean on the highlights, and he's in the thick of things once again, as his teammate is now. And Max has a look but can't go up the inside. Coming onto the back straight, Liam's a little wide there. That may compromise his run, but Max also didn't get the greatest runs out the corner.
Yeah, that right-hander is very tricky to get right. If you understeer too much, you're getting into the gravel. If you're too loose, the car will drop.
Whoa! And drop like that. Liam round. He's going to have to make sure he rejoins as safe as your whistle, and he does. Has to go slow, because there is his teammate and Bryn. And these two, bar Bryn's mistake, Dan, are just picking up places from drivers making their own little errors. Bryn looking up the inside of Dean, and that's just forced Dean a little wide there. Bryn using his brain then to just maybe think of a couple of manoeuvres. Look how close he got there.
He got very close to the back of him there, and although we've been seeing these race paces from Shane and the guys in front, they are not producing that lap time now. Well, they're all in the 47s.
Is this because of that heat phase down on the tyres at the moment?
I'm not sure about that, but either way, it looks like that... I really think that these guys are probably struggling at this stage of the race to kind of keep into a momentum. Smithy is already into the pits. Where is KLF? There he is, and he's got a long way to go. But at the minute, he's coming straight into the pits. Either way, KLF's going to be in a good position for race 2 because he can qualify.
Did you see that there, Dan? Kelly straight away had to go on the power, then off the power and on the brakes to get it stopped. Bryn then has got past Dean Wysocki. Pit windows open. KLF Smithy, the first driver's in. And let's see how powerful the undercut is for Kelly this week. Like you said, ruined his race with the drive-through penalty. Needs a cracking stopping to get out there. And there's someone, Dan, I think Bozzy Boy has stopped at Sector 1. We've lost Bozzy Boy.
I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe wheel issues once again. Was driving a lot in practice and driving a lot in qualifying, so possibly he's overheated once again. But either way, Liam is he was having a very good race as well against Max, and it's all just become undone there.
Well, Liam will have to prove that he retired.
Right, but Joe's in.
Sorry, I'm
also,
just
Shane has got ahead of Monkey Boy.
So Rabbit Joe into the pits at the end of lap 5. Shane's ahead of Monkey Boy then on track. I wonder where he's done that one then. As Shane now coming down the start straight leads this race. Monkey Boy a 49.9. Shane a 47.5. So I wonder as Shane goes a little deep at turn 1, Dan.
He does indeed. We'll go on board Monkey Boy now as the camera is stupid around here. But Monkey Boy seems a lot more stable through Sector 1 as Arjun's got himself a penalty.
I said, didn't I? What did I say about that pit window? You've got to be careful coming into the pit lane, and that for Argent could play dividends, knowing that Kelly and Smithy are so far behind. It's just the 10 seconds, but Argy Bargy then, what a mistake early doors. Now, when are these guys going to come into the pit lane and make their stops? They've got the rest of the race, let's not forget, as onboard Dean Wasaki now. I'm wondering if now's the best time to pit. Maybe get the tyres through the heat phase, because who's to say they won't do it again when the tyres start to cool down a little bit. Dean, get off that curb. No, 150th race. And Dean, the windmill was starting to happen, and it slowly stopped. Evening to Fury's mum in the chat, as well as Peaceful Explosion. Mike Matthews, PM Motorsport, Disco was in there. I've seen Rabbit Joe in there, as well as Mummy Davis. Welchie was in the chat, as well as Peaceful Stepdad. So a good evening to everybody in the chat.
Just to notify as well, Matt, just in clear air, Max has managed to produce a 46.4. So in clear air, on his own, he is on the pace he needs to be on. All these guys in front of him, though, are too busy tripping over one another, and Shane and Monkey Boy both come straight in.
Lap 6 then for Shane and Monkey Boy. Does Max follow? No, he does not. He wants that clear track to maybe overcut the other drivers. Does Lucas Roth think of a pit stop here then? No, he's going to carry on his way. What's happened to Bryn? Because Dean Wasaki now is up into P5. Bryn's a long way back. Bryn cannot pit due to the fact that Shane is in, although Shane, I believe, is away out his... No, not just yet. He's not. Sorry, apologies for that. It was just them tumbling down the standings. Welchie, he comes in as well at the end of lap 6.
This is important laps for Rabbit Joe right now. He knows that Max will be on the pace already, 46.7 for Max. Rabbit Joe needs to be on the pace as soon as he possibly can. He's on a 59.7, but obviously he is just next to the pits. But he has got Leon's teammate, Max's teammate in the way. He goes down the inside of turn 1. They make contact, and Rabbit Joe moves up another place.
Yeah, Leon Fernie kind of just turned in on Joe there. Joe was up the inside and kind of gets turned in on. Max, though, can pump in the lap times out front. Welshie still in the pits. Smithy's had a mistake somewhere because Kelly has got past, and Kelly is within the time he needs to be of Kieran Argent. 2.8 up the road is Kieran.
Might catch him just in raw pace.
I think he will, Dan. I also think he'll catch DJ Phil as well. So
yeah,
Kelly,
I don't even think Welshie's a million miles away either.
14 drivers started, let's not forget, with Liam retiring. That does mean that there will be top 7 cannot qualify. Shane's come out of the pits P7, Monkey Boy down in P8. Shane's actually gapped Monkey Boy a bit more after the pit stops, Dan.
Yeah, I don't know if Monkey Boy has done the glitch correctly, but either way, he's lost a little bit of time to Shane, not a massive amount, but more importantly, Rabbit Joe has gained a massive amount of time. He has got Leon Fernie behind him, so he's got that buffer between the guys behind him, but the man to keep an eye on now is Max Mulder. He is in clean air, he is all on his own. What can he do? I think he still will fall behind the guys behind him. Reckon there's probably a 30-second pit stop round here. As a Gosper line now, 46.8. He is flying. Dean Wasaki comes into the final corner as Lucas Roth now pits.
Yep, so for Dean Wasaki then, is he going to do his normal strategy of going as long as possible? Lucas Roth pits at the end of lap 7. Here comes Shane then, who's got Leon Fernie in between him and Rabbit Joe. Now, Rabbit Joe's gained a lot of time over Shane and Monkey Boy here as well. Rabbit Joe can see Bryn. There's Shane, so that's just an indication of how much time Rabbit Joe has gained. What did Rabbit Joe lap? A 48.4, so nowhere near the pace of Max at the moment.
He's losing a second and a half to Max at this minute. So Max obviously going long. Now, there's something that I learned last night as well with the Audi as such anyway. The car goes through a heat phase.
Oh, there's been a spinner.
It goes past.
Leon Fernie then is the man who's had a moment. Sorry, Dan, I heard a car drop, and Leon Fernie's been passed by Shane as he rejoins. So for Leon Fernie, he's lost another place before his pit stop. Sorry.
I've noticed, obviously, with the Audi, when it goes through the heat phase and it manages to come out of the heat phase, it then tends to go quite natural and starts to build a bit more pace again. So maybe Max has found that out. He's actually up on his lap time at the minute on his own. So Max has probably got past that heat phase now. And he's like, well, I've got clear air. I'm on my own. Why do I pit?
Yeah.
Leon's doing enough of a job holding everybody up.
rightly so. Monkey Boy now within that 30-second window of Max Mulder at the moment then, as Kelly is within 4 seconds of Argent, just lapped a little slower last time around, and he's hopefully going to try and hunt down Kieran Argent or stay within that 10-second window at least to maybe get himself a couple extra points in this race. He'll be looking forward to race 2, no doubt, for Kelly, and treat this one as a bit more testing and laps under the belt. Argy Borgy, he's had a terrible start to his evening as well.
Him and
tonight.
Kelly, both of those guys, just not at the start. They would have wanted. Max crosses line at 45.9. That is probably pro pace, just on the knocking on the door of pro pace. That's what he needs to be doing. Rabbit Joe on his own though, he's picked up some pace, brings into the pits. That's 24 seconds between them. But the longer Max stays out, the more he's actually gaining time towards the line. Rabbit Joe, what does he do?
Rabbit Joe crosses the line. It's only a 47.3, so lost a good second.
Still a second and a half.
1.3, yeah, 1.3 off the back of Max there then for Rabbit Joe, and he's within 22 seconds. Max still got to pit, so we'll have to see how the pit stop goes. Dean Wysocki and Max and Leon Fernie, the only 3 drivers left to pit, so they're all doing the same strategy. And Bryn looking for the undercut on Dean Wysocki then. Bryn down in 7th place, and that's 6th because Leon Fernie's got to pit. Lucas Roth is there. This could be a close one. I think it might just go the way of Bryn as he comes off the limiter now. Where does Bryn appear? Lucas Roth should actually nail this towards turn 1. This could be a bit close, so Bryn could still be up the inside. No,
Could do,
maybe
but
not.
I don't think not enough to really challenge Lucas Roth into turn 1. But my question is, what can Max do now? He needs to be squeaky clean, but he does not want to be doing that. That is track limits right there. Lap 9, that's something the drivers will have to be careful of, because the stewards will be watching track limits. It's very easy to take track limits here, and you do not want to be taking a mick as Matt goes into the final sector now. Does he decide to pit now? He's got a 22-second gap. This has not been his best lap, I don't think. And into the pits he comes.
Yeah, boxing now then, the end of lap 9 for Max. He comes into the pits. He's probably seen Smithy just ahead of him and thinks, do you know what? Let's get it in before I start to catch this traffic. Right then, Rabbit Joe, where do you come out? The other thing Max has got to worry about here is if Dean stays out on track and Max catches Dean, he's got to deal with Dean Wysocki then. A man that he knows all too well, and Dean is staying out. Of course he is. He's doing his old trick. Max, you see to the right-hand side of your screen there, pulls into his pit box. Rabbit Joe is going to nail Max, Dan, because he's already on the start straight. Max is not even away yet. Rabbit Joe will lead this race. It will be the net leader. Monkey Boy, he's got past Shane somewhere, so we're not sure what's happened there. Could Monkey Boy be challenging Max? Shane is still there. Apologies. Shane might get Max. Yes, he does. Can Monkey Boy challenge Max into turn 1? I think he might, you know. And his pit stop just seemed a little too long.
Yeah, definitely so. Leon Fernie is also going to come onto the back. I believe, did you say Leon Fernie and Dean are the only ones still yet to pit?
Yeah, they're the only 2 to pit, yeah.
So Leon Fernie there, kind of doing a good enough job to try and hold up. Shane's
Shane! He's had a moment. He's got damage to the front. Monkey Boy's gone through. Bryn's got back past Lucas Roth. I'm just seeing on my screen as well. He's got big damage down, a missing headlight, and huge damage for Shane then in this race. Still a long way to go. Will that demote him a few places? I tell you what, that could really help Dean and Leon Fernie out, who are yet to pit if Shane has to pit again.
Yeah, definitely so, as Shane really looks like he's struggling here. And this is just going to help Rabbit Joe and Monkey Boy out right now, because this is just going to hold Max up. Max looking down the inside, but he can't find a clear enough move right now. The Porsches are looking good to try and extend their gap on the Lamborghini wins.
They are indeed, as Max now being held by Shane just a little bit. Dan, we've had 3 drivers lead the race tonight. So we've had 4 drivers lead the race. 2 of them drivers are the only 2 that's won races in Pro-Am this season.
Yeah, definitely so, as Max is now going to go down the inside. Shane really not fighting out. He looks like he's got major damage to that car. He's sticking to the back of the Audi, but I think Shane is going to be peeling into the pits. We'll go on board with him, and I think, yeah, Shane's going to have to rethink that one and come back from race 2.
Yep, he is. Dean's dot looked a little slow, so he's in. Now, if Shane has to pit, this could be real advantage for Dean to gain another place and maybe be around that 4th. As Monkey Boy's lost it there, and Shane is going to pit, Dan. So damage for Shane. Does Leon Fernie come in as well? Waiting for him to come round. No, he doesn't. So Leon Fernie stays out. Shane and Dean box. And Rabbit Joe, once again, he has got a good lead here.
And Dean as well. I'm trying to find Dean. Has he moved? He has started moving. So once Leon Fernie pits, if Monkey Boy makes another mistake like that, Dean is going to be hunting him down again.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
who's that?
then.
That's
I think
Leon's
Leon
round.
Fernie. He's the only guy left to pit now, and Dean then will be closer to Leon Fernie now. He's made a mistake. Dean has massively jumped Bryn, who's been battling with Shane. Bryn gets past Lucas Roth. That is DJ Phil, who's made a mistake. Argent gets past. Well, she's got past DJ Phil, and Kelly trying to get on the back of DJ Phil now as well. Can Kelly get Shane? No, Shane's coming out the pit lane. Shane is off the limiter now, and the others won't get past him.
I know Argent might fight him into turn 1. Look at this run that Argent's got. He might be on the rear end of him as they go up into the top section of the circuit. And Argent really coming in with a lot of speed there. Shane now just manages to stay ahead, even though Argent gets ahead. He's got a 10-second gap, and Shane's really slow through there. Not sure why. And KLF's right onto the back of DJ Phil. But we go back to Argent and Shane. Look at these two as Argent looks down the inside. And Shane's going to allow that to be relatively easy.
Yeah, Shane just making it easy, and I wonder if his tyres have just dropped a little bit after the pit stop. So Argent gives him a flash. Shane's going to look back up the inside. Can't get the move done there, and Argent stays ahead once again then. And Kelly now gaining even more on the back of DJ Phil as he took a very tight exit to that turn 4 corner there.
I think he has. I think just probably struggling with the tyres at the minute. Obviously, with it being more cooler conditions, Kelly likes to be on the softer tyre, but he has told me as well that he doesn't mind the Porsche on the hard tyres, especially when it's in his right window. So he's really started to learn the limits of the Porsche, I think, as he's right on the back wing of DJ Phil.
I think we could see a send-it manoeuvre into the hairpin. DJ Phil's not come across to cover it. Leon Fernie is now in the pits at the end of lap 11, and Phil goes very wide and gives Kelly enough room. Oh, bit of limits there for Kelly, but he was already passed as he got that one done. Leon Fernie then into the pits. Dean now P4, Bryn up into P5, and where will Leon Fernie come out? Will he come out around this battle, I wonder, depending on his stop, you know?
Depends, really, yeah. So Shane's back in
Shane's
again.
back in. Oh, no.
Yeah, not repair the damage. Did it only repair so much?
Oh,
Has he
Shane's
set it up
night.
wrong? Has he only made it to do so much repair? KLF down the back straight. This is going to be tight with Leon Fernie.
Got
I
him.
say that, he's going to do him quite easily here.
Yeah, job done for Kelly then, and he's gained on Shane as well. So that is Phil, Leon, and Shane done. P9 for Kelly. RG Bargy now within a window where he's going to drop, possibly at the minute, to P11, Dan.
Yeah, but this man, Rabbit Joe, ever since he's been out in front, he's had it relatively comfortable and easy at the minute. Comfortably with a nice gap ahead of Max. He feels like Max in race 1 near enough every week right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Dean having a better race 1 this week. He's currently 14 seconds off the back of Monkey Boy. Well, Monkey Boy making sure he doesn't spin this car. Let me tell you, I can guarantee you for a fact he will not want to drop this car now. Dean, though, better race 1 for him on his 150th appearance. He will not get to qualify race 2, so he's got work to do if he's to keep up his 100% win record in that second race. Bryn having a decent race as well, as is Lucas Roth, who's had a bit of a hit and miss moment.
Not
And
sure what's going on there.
Yeah, that's more miss than hit as well.
Yeah, definitely so. But Argent could have been a better round, obviously, with that 10 seconds. He will lose out to currently Welshie and KLF. So what Welshie and KLF will want to be doing is focusing just trying to stick within that 10 seconds of Argent.
Yeah, they will as well. Leon Fernie,
And
DJ Phil, just DJ Phil at the minute. Not quite Leon Fernie. In fact, I think Phil's just dropped out of that area. So we'll have to see. Smithy to try and get in on the back of Shane. And that would explain then, Dan, why Shane maybe didn't fight Argent as hard. He knew he had to come back into the pit lane.
Yeah, I think that's what the flash was about. I think he was saying, look, I'm not fighting you, mate. Just go through, because I have still got to repair the damage. But for a man who's currently at university and on some really dodgy Wi-Fi,
Yes.
Rabbit Joe is looking very good at the minute. I probably cursed him now, and he's probably going to get disconnected.
2 seasons out, Rabbit Joe's had. He came back for his first appearances last week. He got a 2nd and a 6th. He's on for his first race win back. A good win for the Porsches. Lucas Roth still trying to find a way past Bryn. Simplay Racing having a great night in terms of the points, Dan.
They are indeed, and once again, I can't seem to find out when this camera changes, so I have to go back on board with Lucas Roth to see this action. But also, more importantly, KLF has caught Welshie, and DJ Phil wasn't a million miles away behind either, so that's interesting. But Lucas Roth is the man who's looking to make the moves here. As Shane
Has KLF and Welshie made a mistake? Sorry, Dan, because they are within that 10-second limit of Argent.
Possibly so. Maybe Welshie made a mistake and Kelly just had to bail out of it at the same time. Right now, they are out of that window. Welshie's got wide.
Yeah, very wide there. And
goes
that
KLF.
Yeah, what about DJ Phil? Oh, Bryn's
Bryn's
round.
faced the wrong way.
So's Lucas Roth. You can hear the Porsche as well. And they let RG Bargy go. He's now P5. And all of a sudden,
10 seconds.
He has got that 10 seconds, but all of a sudden, Dan, Kelly, who's got past Welshie, DJ Phil did as well, he can now maybe see Bryn and Lucas Roth. What happened there then? We know Lucas Roth was behind Bryn. Did they make contact as Welshie looks on DJ Phil? Can't get the move done and maybe just outbrakes himself. No, manages to stay within the track limits and keep it going behind DJ Phil at the minute. So it's Rabbit Joe from Max, from Monkey Boy from Dean, from Argent now, but with his 10-second penalty, he could finish all the way down in P7 at the minute. Kelly's not done enough to get by Argent yet.
Yeah, but now Kelly's got free air. He could probably focus on trying to hunt them down. But at the minute, how many started? 14. So top 7 won't be able to qualify. At the minute, Kelly...
can qualify.
Just in that window.
Yeah.
But obviously, which would you want more? Be able to qualify, or do you want the points? That's the question.
Well, he'll gain 1 point if he passes Bryn. So
I definitely know a man who would rather have the qualifying.
Who?
He's done it many, many times. Gary 131 in previous seasons, he would deliberately lift off and allow Little Leach to go through so that he could qualify for race 2. I know that's a classic tactic of
I think when you look at it logically, Dan, Kelly, if he passes Bryn, he'll gain 1 point, or passes Argent, he'll gain 1 point. Or he could gain that point by possibly getting pole position. I know it's a risk with Shane being in that knockout zone as well.
But he's not produced a lap time, although
He's
he's done it in practice.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, so at the minute, it'd be between Kelly and Shane, you'd have to say for Q2, wouldn't it? As that is Lucas Roth well off. It'll be between Kelly and Shane, you'd say, for qualifying 2, wouldn't you, at the moment? Is that enough for Kelly to be on the front row and have a clear track in front of him at the start of the race, maybe? Well, it's not going to matter, because he now can't qualify.
It doesn't matter at all, but I know for a fact that Keeks, with his steering wheel, he tends to have issues where the screens just suddenly go mental on him. And he's probably had that moment there into the chicane.
Looked a very strange one, didn't it? It was very wide and deep off into the gravel. As Max, 45.9 last lap. He's got the gap down to 4.6 seconds. Has he got enough time to take his 3rd race win of the season? We'll have to keep our eyes on it. That was his last lap as well, the 45.9. And according to my phone, that's lit up purple. So I reckon that could possibly be the fastest lap of the race so far for Max.
Possibly so.
So then, Lucas Roth has to then go on and catch Kelly at the minute. And Welshie, there's Leon Fernie. There then is DJ Phil just in front. Shane's gaining on the back of Smithy as well for that final point, for that final place on track. A flash from Keeks to Kelly there then. That's down in towards turn 1. The Porsches come. And it's Porsche from Audi from Porsche at the moment. Sorry.
These two have caught Bryn very quickly. Bryn is struggling, I think. Whatever's going on with Bryn, he is not very fast at this minute, and he is losing hand over fist time.
Did a 54.8 last lap, Dan.
Yeah, so something's happened with Bryn. He's not having a good run here. Maybe he's burnt the tyres up on the softs. Obviously, with it being a half-an-hour race, and obviously we run real time as well, so it's getting warmer here. Yeah. Maybe the soft tyres are now starting to get into a phase where if they get too hot...
Has Argent made a mistake? The time has come tumbling down, Bryn to Argent. I think he has, up the chicane. Because what was 10 seconds, Bryn? He's definitely made a mistake now. He's round. I think Argent's made a mistake, Dan. He had 10 seconds over Bryn and was going to stay P5. He's now got 9 seconds to DJ Phil.
He's going to drop right down the order. Welshie, if he could just work with Leon Fernie a little bit, these guys can gain an extra point. So after Argent did all that hard work to get himself back at the top, he's going to throw it all away by one chicane issues. But these two are too busy dicing.
Lucas Roth and Kelly dicing at each other. Kelly 6th now. Lucas Roth can't qualify again in the next for the next one. And Argent...
Oh, he's got deep.
He has gone deep. Argent 6 seconds ahead of Kelly, 8 seconds ahead of Lucas Roth, 9 seconds ahead of DJ Phil. So we'll finish P9 at the moment. That is Shane once again. And Dan, what is happening to these Ferraris here?
I think you've given the. I think you've given him the commentator's curse before we went live.
Bryn's having the same problems, though it looks, Dan.
Yeah, I think possibly their setup. Maybe they've just pushed the tyres too aggressively, and now they've just got to a window.
Oh, Mike.
Lottie and Mike are going to be happy, aren't they?
Oh, and then Plava and Smokey.
Either way, I think it's probably more their setups than anything.
Yeah.
But Rabbit Joe now seems to have
Oh,
managed
now,
to...
sorry, Monkey Boy are 57 dead. Dean Wasocki are 50.5. What's going on here with Monkey Boy? With 3 laps to go, or 2 and a bit laps to go, Monkey Boy just started to make a few mistakes, has he then?
Look at the rear of that Porsche.
Very
Is
dirty.
it me, or is that not dirty?
Oh,
but
no,
that...
oh! What's this about? That was a very kind of stop
Look
dead.
On the spoiler. Look on the spoiler.
Yeah, yeah.
And you've got the little tail below it. It's crooked.
Yes, no, I agree. That's
So
been
it's Dean.
that's hit something backwards. No, Dean's not been near Monkey Boy.
But their
That's-
lap times are similar.
Yeah, the gap's been about 15 seconds. Dean's only gained a few seconds over Monkey Boy. Dean's not been near him all race. Chat, if Dean has been near Monkey Boy, let us know. But I'm sure Dean's been 15 seconds after Dean's pit stop. He's not been close enough to Monkey Boy.
Oh, Argent's lost more time, I think. He's slow. No, he's starting to gain a little bit of time, but he's not gaining enough. DJ Phil is just out that window right now. He's just out. So, Argent, he really can't afford to make any mistakes right now. 56.3. What's he going to do? The guys behind him doing 49s. Even Leon Fernie just in the 50s. He lost 6 seconds that last lap. What is this one going to be? 47. That's back to where he should be,
better.
but he's going to lose still a lot of places here.
It is indeed. Dean Wasocki, look at 50.7 yet again last lap. So, yeah, just notice that one. 2 seconds the gap's down to with 2 laps to go. And he's been 1.3 quicker on the last lap as Max Mulder. And Rabbit Joe, how's your nerve, my friend? Because this man's on for a 3rd race win this season. And for Rabbit Joe, he's got to now, I think Dean's had a moment now because all of a sudden Argy Bargy's near Dean Wasocki.
He is indeed, but more importantly, let's go back to the 2 leaders. Max is hunting down Rabbit Joe. He's just getting within a second. But the thing is, Max doesn't want to overdrive. He's been the one who's been trying to absorb pressure, and then he cracks. Oh, Rabbit Joe! You just see the slightest twitch from him on the final corner. Does not need to touch that curb. Joe, you've got 1 lap to survive. Whatever you do, just keep it on track.
Keep it on track, indeed. And I believe Mike has maybe fixed. Mike, in the chat, have you fixed the spam? Because it seems to be disappearing. I did read your message, but I haven't looked at it yet. I do believe Mike may have fixed the spam issue. So there we go. Joe then, a second ahead of Max Mulder. And we're on the final lap. They come through turn 3. I think Joe should have enough, Dan, in the tank here.
Oh, if he doesn't do that, though, he goes deep. Max is finding more time. This is going to be down to the wire. Joe, hang in there, my friend. Get that Porsche another win. I missed that car. Come on, get the Porsche home as he's very slow through that sector.
Argent's just got himself enough in front of Lucas Roth at the minute to only lose out to KLF then in this race so far. Can he get a far enough ahead of Kelly? Joe's very slow through the uphill chicane, and now towards the back end of the circuit is Max. We saw it race 2 last week at Kota. Max pressured in till the very last corner. Now is he going to do the same to Rabbit Joe? Here they come down the back straight. He's not close enough for ascending, and even if he was, Joe's covered him off here. Max is going to have to go the long way around, tries to tuck back underneath, and he's done it! An absolute kipper! And Rabbit Joe thought he'd covered Max off, hasn't got the job done, and Max Mulder 3 from 3 potentially in race 1. Max, what a drive from the man.
Yeah, patience worked off, and I think, to be honest, Rabbit Joe actually made that much, much easier for him as Smithy allows the leaders to go through. But Max comes down and takes 3 for 3, race 1 wins.
Round the final corner, Max Mulder, your race 1 winner. Rabbit Joe, 2nd place. Smithy will be down in P12. What a drive from him. It's going to be Monkey Boy, who looks like he's going to be on the podium and has beaten Dean Wasocki at the moment. Kelly then, within a bit of time, Lucas Roth's lost out even more places. Can Kelly? He needs to Kelly can't afford to lose much more time. We'll go back to that obviously in a moment. There's Shane behind Monkey Boy, who's going to be 13. Monkey Boy, though, around the final corner, and it's going to be a P3 for him as he comes to the line. Another podium for Monkey Boy this season. Shane with a P13. What a shame for him in this race. Dean Wasocki looks like he's got enough done to hold off Kieran Argent. And it's going to be P4 for Dean. Good points. Loses out to his championship rival, Max. Obviously, with Max scoring big, that isn't what Dean Wasocki will want to see. But for Dean, it's a P4 and a great result once again, Dan, this season. As Argy Bargy, has he done enough for that P5? We'll wait and see.
He comes right behind Dean there. So KLF in the final corner. I don't think Argent's done enough. 9 seconds is the gap. So I think Argent is going to lose at least one place to KLF. No. He hangs in there.
He stays P6.
Look at this.
At P5. This train, Phil, from, I can't even see who that is, Argy Bargy 5th,
Leon
Lucas
Fernie.
Roth.
Lucas
Lucas Roth
Roth.
down in 8th. DJ Phil got 7th, so DJ Phil can't qualify. Leon Fernie 9th. Welshie down in 10th. Good result for him. And then Bryn rounding out 11th place. Fastest lap of the race, Max Mulder with the 59. So once again, Max, race win and fastest lap. What a start to the evening, Dan. And it's only going to get better. Top 7 can't qualify. So Lucas Roth, Leon Fernie, Welshie, Bryn, Smithy, Shane, and that Bozzy Boy. And Stealth Sloth, hopefully if Stealth Sloth get in, can qualify. We'll be right back in just a moment.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to drags me down. I need to focus everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end, so I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to focus everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end, so I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to focus everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end, so I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to focus everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end, so I'm full speed ahead. beside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget.
To Simplay Motorsport here for the second race of the evening. No Bozzy Boy back in the session, so he will get a quali ban for next week due to his retirement unless proven otherwise. The top 7 couldn't qualify, so Max, Rabbit Joe, Monkey Boy, Dean Wasocki, Argent Kelly and I believe DJ Phil cannot qualify for race 2. We've got the top 3 in for a little chat, but first of all, the current championship standings with 513 drivers championship points left up for grabs. Max Mulder has a 40-point lead over Dean Wasocki, who is 2 ahead of Monkey Boy, and this battle is going to rage on all throughout the evening. Dean is still ahead of Monkey Boy, let's not forget it for the time being. 5 rounds in. Kelly, P4, 55 points back and 13 points off the back of his teammate. Rabbit Joe, P5 now, 9 points off the back of KLF. Ukbar drops to P6, tied with Shane on 43. Bit of a jump to DJ Phil in P8 on 34 points, with Smithy only 3 points behind him. Argent P10 on 28, with Leon Fernie a point behind him on 27. Stealth Sloth on 25, with that Bozzy Boy on 24. Welsh's P14 on 19. Lucas Roth P15 on 15, and Bryn P16 on 12. 893 constructors points left up for grabs, and it's the SRL race team who have a 9-point lead over Audio Sport and 2 old pros, with Wakasaki Racing now 43 behind. Terminal Velocity Racing are on 77, 11 ahead of Simplay Racing, who are on 66, ahead of the SFA Acora Racing on 59. Super Crash Bros P7 on 55, and MC Motorsport bringing up the rear on 44. And we'll start, as always, with P3. Monkey Boy. That was an interesting race from yourself. You was fighting for the lead, you was fighting for second, for third, for fourth nearly at one stage. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, that was very interesting, like you say. Got a good start. If I did make contact with Max, I do apologise. I don't really know what happened. Thought I left him enough room, but yeah, if hands up, if it's my fault, it's my fault.
Well, from our point of view, it looks like he's absolutely bounced off the curb and kind of gone onto 2 wheels. An up and down race though, because you had what looked like to be the pace to get ahead of Joe, but just a few mistakes on your part that kind of cost you that chance of a race win.
Yeah, I made the rookie mistake of not going for a week before qualifying, and I needed a week all the way through that race, so I couldn't really concentrate on the racing.
That is one of the... Do you know the big book of driver excuses that Kelly goes on about? That is probably the best one in there.
I've got it off your hero, you know, Jason Plato.
Well, hey, he's an idol of mine. Listen, you're back in the Pro, obviously Season 2 champion. You're up against Rabbit Joe from Season 2 as well. It's a tough year, and Max in the mix, it's going to be a hard one. Race 2, you look like you start towards the back. What can you do?
Just stay out of trouble, unlike last week. That's the biggest thing. Obviously, you know yourself, you've been in here, is completely different to Pro. Yeah, the key is just staying out of trouble, which hopefully I can do this week. But yeah, pick them up as we go, hopefully.
Well, hopefully. Well, we'll let you go. You can grab a quick toilet break if you need to. You've still got 6.5 minutes left. Good luck for race 2, buddy. There we go then. Good luck for race 2, buddy. Have a good one.
Well done to Max and Joe on that one as well.
As we head then to Rabbit Joe, and Joe, it looked so good for the race win until the final sector. Talk us through what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all started with qualifying. That kind of gave me the shakes when I got P1, and I didn't expect it. But going to the end of that race, I saw Max was closing on me. A few hinder mistakes that brought him to me closer sooner, which didn't put me off. I just decided to go defensive, and it was too defensive. So it didn't work out.
Now, obviously, this season... Sorry, carry on.
Full respect to Max for the overtake and getting me at the end of it. Amazing drive.
Now, obviously, this season, a big season for you. You've obviously left home. You're living in Wales at university on university Wi-Fi. 2 seasons out. You've came back, 2 podiums, and a great start to your season, really.
Yeah, I just try and stay consistent, stay out of trouble, and I'm not the fastest driver on the grid, but I like to think that I'm up there, and I like to think that I'm quite consistent, so that helps a lot in Pro-Am, as long as you stay clear of everyone.
Well,
Looks like
you should really put yourself a little bit higher there, Joe, because you are a champion in this category. So you are quick enough to be in this category easily.
You start mid-pack for this second race. Mid-pack kind of can bring chaos at times. What can you do, though?
A bit of a setup change, as I said earlier, but I think kind of just roll with the flow, stay out of trouble, and hope for the best.
Well, Joe, we'll let you get back to it. Congratulations on your second place this evening.
Thank you.
And we go to the man who just doesn't seem to be able to be beaten at the moment, Max Mulder. P1 yet again. That must feel good for yourself, Max.
It feels, and today I know the track isn't for me, but the setup was great. Without practicing, I got the setup perfect in the last moment on qualification, and yeah, the race in lap 2 I made a little mistake with the curbstone, almost got upside down, but I survived. And yeah, late in the race I was pushing so fast. Luckily in the last lap I overtaken.
Yeah, going into that last lap, you must have thought that a second's a lot of time to make up here. It was a great move. Did you feel that Joe just went too defensive?
He did. If he didn't defend, he will still get a win. Because he was so, how do you say that, inside of the track?
Yeah.
That, yeah, he lost so many time with that.
Race 2, looks like you're going to be starting P12. What can you do from there?
Slow first lap, and then hopefully late pit stop. So, yeah,
well,
speed track.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, Max. Have a good one for race 2.
Thanks.
And Dan, 3 drivers very happy with themselves. Monkey Boy clearly feeling like he needs to... Monkey Boy got clearly that excited about his qualifying that he needed a wee in race 1. Now, I've never heard an F1 driver in a 2-hour race. I didn't get the win because I needed a wee.
Well, that's because most F1 drivers will probably just wee in the car. They're not scared to do it, but I think Monkey Boy needs to take a note out of their book and just wee in his seat. I mean, I know for a fact that Mazda will probably put a catheter in.
Put a catheter in, yeah. I thought he was going a different way based off the clip the other night, but yes, okay. Mazda, yes.
Or Matt just peel over the seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, didn't Mazda used to have a bottle next to him and he just used to pee in a bottle?
Yeah, so when we did the Daytona 24, Mazda, I think, peed in a bottle. Yeah. You can't imagine, can you? As Shane sets the new fastest lap and goes 8 tenths quicker than Lucas Roth. His teammate Broom goes into P3 with Walshy currently 4th, Smithy 5th, and Leon Fernie 6th. And down the sunlight coming up here.
Yeah, the sun is coming out, obviously. The track guide is set for race 2, so you can see where the sun would rise for the Acura. But I'll just go back to the toilet thing. If it makes you go that much faster, Monkey Boy, you need to do that more often because you need to hold your pee in and go then. But
hey, if he comes to his if he comes to being, you know, able to win the championship, and he wins the championship because he held his win, well, that's worth, you know, that's. When I've commentated with Kelly, and he's always on about the driver's big book of excuses, that one has to be the latest entry. That Monkey Boy needed a wee, hence why I didn't win. That's right up there with the greats.
Well, some people who know me quite when I was much younger, I used to do BMX racing as a kid, and when we used to do BMX racing, it would take between like 40 seconds to a minute to do a lap. And it was just a short little sprint. And sometimes as a kid, what I used to do is deliberately hold a wee in a race, because it would make me want to ride faster.
The faster you go, the quicker you can get back to the toilet. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So maybe he went for that kind of logic. Leon Funny now goes head of Welshie. But Monkey Boy, next time either have a bottle at the ready, or just pee on the seat, or just pee on the seat. Just use. Those are three different logics there. One from Matt, one from Mazda, and one from F1 drivers. Yeah,
speak with Mazda and get yourself a catheter. I find out. I mean, Mazda's might be for sale. We don't know what he does anymore. Either way, Monkey Boy makes his 150th in 4 races time. I reckon when Emplava does his nice little picture, we need a Monkey Boy 150 race starts. Still needs a wee. On the little poster image that we'll put on the social medias after he's done it. Yes. He is, yeah. I also think Monkey Boy's car needs to be behind an Acora, but that's a joke for another day. Everybody has came into the pit lane. They don't want to finish their final runs. Means we've got an abrupt end to the qualifying session, Dan, and it is Shane on his first pole position of the season then, but not all Ferrari front row. His teammate will line up third. Lucas Roth in that second place. Welshie then down in 5th with Leon Fernie 4th. Row 3 is Welshie and Smithy. Row 4 is the non-qualifiers of KLF and DJ Phil. Rabbit Joe on row 5 with Kieran Argent, his old teammate Dean Wysocki on row 6 with his title challenger Max Mulder, and the P-Master himself, Monkey Boy, at the back of the grid on his own. We have the Rainmaster, the Dry Master, the Wee Master.
The Wee Master. I don't know if I want that as a nickname.
There's a few drivers in that category. There's Welshie and Lucas Roth, the wee old Scottish. And then there's Monkey Boy. Sitting in enough wee talk.
The little wee lass.
Enough talk about
he's going to piddle his way to the front. He's going to slash his way through the field.
Hey, we're here all week, and if we're not, Kelly and Smithy are. Hopefully they'll carry on this trend. Hopefully no one needs a wee tomorrow.
He's going to be that fast, he's going to leave the rest of the drivers dribbling.
Yeah. Hope he's not got a leak on his car. Either way, they're going to be syncing up and getting ready to go in just a moment's time. And do you know the silly thing is, right, is Kelly has the stream on, and I know them two have been a party together, so Monkey Boy will hear all of this, and I can just imagine he's going to be sat there, oh, why did I say that on the interview?
He's going to be he wanted a wee in race 1, and now he's going to be sweating in race 2.
Well, let's see if he can spray something, hopefully the champagne, on the podium at the end of race 2 then, as we're about to sync up and get ready to go here. Shane from Lucas Roth with Bryn and Leon Fernie on the second row, and I can't control myself.
I can.
I'm perfectly fine. I can. Let's not worry about it.
I can control my week. Can you control yours?
I did. Do you know when you was talking in qualifying, you was going on a little bit. I actually went for a wee. I muted my mic, left it on the side.
I don't know.
Of the desk.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Well, you was able to commentate as we're syncing up here. Then a few flashes of the lights. 1 red, 2 red. 3 red. Oh, Lucas Roth, I think, jumped the start massively there. It's green and go for race 6 this season, and that is a 100% drive-through penalty for Lucas Roth. He definitely jumped the start. They all come down towards turn 1. Max has done exactly what he said. He's going to hang back and wait for the pack to come through. And now, Welshie looks up the inside as well. Max, very patiently, and the wee man himself already up into P10.
He's slicing his way through the pack right now, but it's a Welshie 1-2 with the father-son duo. But obviously, we know for a fact the son will have to pit and serve his drive-through. But all relatively clean into turn 1. Yeah. We know what happens if it's clean into turn 1. Matt, Pro is going to be a disaster.
It's going to be absolutely terrible tomorrow night. Oh, that's a tap, Rabbit Joe on Argy Bargy than the former teammates. Dean Wysocki trying to get past Smithy early doors here. Kelly's had a decent start. He's already up to 6th place. There's Dean going side by side with Smithy. I do believe we're on with Lucas Roth and Welshie. He's lost the rear, and that's the Scotsman in the wall. There was a car in the gravel. Who's that? I think that is Smithy. Yes, it is. So Dean through as well. Welshie gets it spun around and continues. So it's Lucas from Shane from Bryn. The 2 Ferraris on the podium at the minute, and Smithy being mugged off here by Argent, and I think Max has got up the inside as well, coming into the hairpin. He's going to look up the inside of Argy Bargy. That's a late send it. That's Leon Fernie off, with Dean and Kelly also a little slow. Smithy's had a spin at the hairpin. What is going on here?
The dribblers now come through as he goes down the inside of DJ Phil. I need to stop. Oh, Lucas Ross has had a moment.
Yeah, Lucas Roth's had a moment. So it's a Ferrari 1-2. KLF now on the podium. And here we go then. Dean up into 4th place, Dan. He loves a race too, does Dean Wysocki. At the end of that one, he's P4.
Yeah, but his arch rival is in P7. He is slicing his way through the field, and there goes Geeks.
Oh! Hang on to it. Hold yourself. A little bit of dribble may have come out for Smithy there as he goes into the wall. Monkey Boy through absolutely fine.
I think Monkey Boy wet himself, and the P got all overturned. The final corner.
I tell you now, I'd have dribbled a bit there, coming to see that cloud of smoke. As then Kelly has not got to worry about Dean Wysocki behind. He's got Leon Fernie, Max Mulder, and the Argy Bargy right behind him. Dean and Leon teammates last season. Here comes Leon Fernie up the inside of Dean Wysocki. Is he going to get the move done? He does. Little late on the brakes. He's pushed Dean off there, and that has ruined Leon Fernie and Dean Wysocki's race.
Yeah, Dean is not happy there. He's just reversed back to make sure he doesn't cause any incident. But look at these two. They've up and gone.
The Ferrari boys have checked out. 3.6 seconds they've got up front, and we said Dean loves a race too. Well, he's got to do it the hard way now. Argent will have to defend like a warrior against Max Mulder here, a bit wiggly through the chicane. We know there's one man in front who defends like a lion, and that is KLF. Rabbit Joe now on the back of DJ Phil. Monkey Boy is just ahead of Welshie then in P8, as Leon Fernie then didn't yield that place back to Dean either, I've noticed. He stayed out in P10. Was that because Dean was slow to get away? Argent has got to make sure he nails every corner, because look at Max just trying to sniff the opportunities here everywhere he goes.
Yeah, definitely so. And I think the two in front are just working together to slowly build a gap. He's really struggling through here, Argent, even though this is where the Acura should be mighty. When I did that Simplay hot lap, obviously the Acura chose the car because it's a very stable and easy car to get used to. And I said to you, Matt, in the party chat, I said, I just absolutely love this car around here. It feels so stable, so comfortable. But he's very slow on exit, and that's enough for Max to go. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you, Mama, for the carrots. I thought you was going to say the thank you, Mama, for the carrots. Who's that? It was a green car. It's Rabbit Joe. He's now got to rejoin. Dean Wysocki, you'd imagine, will get past here as well. And Max up the inside into turn 1, and that is job done. Look at this little train behind Monkey Boy. It's Leon Fernie and Welshie, the Scotsman. Welshie up the inside. That's a great move from Welshie, as Smithy then into the pits a little early here.
I think Monkey Boy saw how fast Welshie was coming up the inside and wet himself and let him through. So he's going to wish he'd never told us this.
He's going to regret this. Monkey Boy looks up the inside and cannot get through. Smithy then into the pit lane. Lucas Roth hasn't pitted yet either, so we're going to need Smithy's view as well of his early pit stop.
I mean, that is very, very long. That's a long stop.
It is a long stop. It is indeed. Monkey Boy trying to fight back on Welsh here. He's got to look up the inside, and he's going to have a sniff of a chance, but can't get it done. And Welsh here...
overtaking position there.
No, it's not. Welsh, don't forget, lap 1 span and went into the wall, Dan, and is now really sort of putting his foot down. The two Ferraris, 4.3 seconds over Kelly. Shane has. Smithy's still in the pits. He's coming out now. He's nearly lost a lap to the leaders. That was a long stop. Probably doesn't need to show us the evidence there. That's probably justified enough. But Shane and Bryn are doing a good enough job, like you say, just using each other maybe out front. Shane yet to win a race. Bryn won 2 races last season in fantastic style. And Kelly now, he's got to defend like a lion against Max Mulder here. He's already gone across unlike Argent did, and he's going to be hoping that Argy Bargy can get on the back of Max Mulder. And as they come down towards turn 1, that is rapid from Max. Kieran Argent is nowhere to be seen in terms of helping KLF. Max around the outside. Can he get it done on Kelly? He goes a little wide. Oh, now then. Bit of contact from the two of them.
Was Max long enough side to be at least allowed a racing room? But Kelly there shutting the door on Max there. And looks like Max going to have to do the hard work all over again. But Argent's right there just in case anything happens. And meanwhile, further back, Monkey Boy has lost a bit of time to Welshie right now as we go back. Also, Dean's onto the back of Leon Fernie. But once again, the 2 Ferrari boys have got a lovely, comfortable gap. And Shane's doing the pace, and Bryn's just sticking with him, following his lines. As you see in the background, Max is already on the rear wing of KLF.
He is, and he's going to look into the second DRS and has to get out of that. You're not going to overtake there at all. And Max knew he had to back out of that one. Gets the better run, though, than Kelly, because Kelly defended sort of in the middle of the track. Max, though, can he do to Kelly what he did to Rabbit Joe? What a camera angle that is over the top. Kelly, does he get it stopped? Not a just about, I'd say there. He just got it slowed down enough, Dan, compared to Rabbit Joe, to get that one in. Lucas Roth in a lap early as well.
Difference though is Rabbit Joe went deep and went wide. KLF managed to get it stopped and did a Plato and just left it on the apex so that the others can get through. Lucas Roth straight to the pits, and I don't know if that's a drive-through for him. But these two,
it might be the drive-through actually.
He's sitting right on the back of Shane. He's lapping consistently as Max has got past KLF because KLF is in the pits.
Kelly, first man into the pits, inside the pit window then, and for him,
Bryn's last lap, he was quicker than Shane.
Yeah, Bryn quicker than Shane last time around by 4/10 of a second then. This is Argent now on the back of Max. He needs to get past him. What has happened here? Because Leon Fernie was behind Welshie and Monkey Boy, and Dean was behind Welshie and Monkey Boy. Dean's now sitting on the rear of Monkey Boy. That's a decent stop for KLF there, and he'll hope that Max can then come under a bit of trouble. 6 seconds Max got to get till he gets to the back of the Ferraris. Rabbit Joe in as well down at the end of lap 4, just noticing.
Yeah, he's in as well, getting his pit stop.
But what's happened here? Because Welshie's massively off the back of these 3.
He must have had a mistake because he's 53.2, so he's had an off somewhere. Maybe Monkey Boy went to avoid him, and Leon Fernie just managed to just sneak his way through. But Argent actually sticking to the back of Max now. Max has started to extend his gap. Argent now possibly learning his lines and trying to figure out where he's losing time to him. But these two are just working as the dream team. This is your Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barry Keller era right now. Both Ferraris right out in front, following one another.
And this is exactly what they need to do. At lap 5 of 18, everybody still has to pit, and they are doing a great job at the minute. Quicker than Max last time round. Obviously, Max was trying to get past KLF. KLF's done an early stop. He's out well ahead of Rabbit Joe, and he's got some clear track to Welshie as well. So Kelly will be hoping that some drivers pit and he can pick them off. He's not going to pick off these two, though, because these two are in a different league at the moment. They are so far out in front. They're in... Oh, Kieran sliding through the chicane there.
He got it stopped, though. He made the corner.
He did.
So...
Very slippy through there, though. I wonder if there's a puddle or two. Oh, who's that?
Speaking of a puddle.
Well, it's at the same chicane, Dan. That is Lucas Roth, who's had another moment, stays right out of the way. Dean and Monkey Boy have got past Leon Fernie, and Monkey Boy bails to the pits. Lap 5.
He's probably got a leak, so he's into the pits as quickly as he possibly can.
Oh, so, Lucas Roth pitted at lap 5 as well, Dan. He's got himself a time penalty.
Oh, that's absolutely gutting for him. But in they come. DJ Phil starting to become a bit of a trolley train as everyone's just queuing up behind, and Leon Fernie dropped behind Dean. And Dean now looking to try and catch DJ Phil as quickly as he possibly can. As KLF with clear air has managed to get himself ahead of Welshie. He'll get ahead of his teammate, and I think he is the first man to come in the pits, and he is the lead car of the first pitters. How close can he get to the Ferrari boys? Because at the minute they're Shane's now in the 46s, Bryn in the low 47s. Yeah. Max is only just going quicker.
That gap's not dipped under 6 seconds yet, so they're doing fantastic stuff, are Shane and Bryn at the moment. And that is Leon Fernie round It looked like he was up the inside as we went on board him there. Dean, did he just lose the rear then? And like you say, Kelly, the lead car of the pit stop guys, is now some 13 seconds behind Leon Fernie. And I'd imagine, Dan, that for Kelly, he'll want Leon Fernie to maybe box before he gets to the back of him, as he would possibly Dean and the rest of the front runners. Dean gaining on DJ Phil. And Dean messaged me in the mid-session break saying, car felt a little weird after lap 11. Felt I could have done more. So it's nice to see when we said Dean, in previous seasons he struggled at times. It's nice to see Dean now. He's had 2 wins that car felt a little weird. Oh no! That's huge! That is huge! Days of thunder moment through the cloud of smoke, argy-bargy, and Max Mulder has lost some immense time, not just to Kelly, Dan, but to the Ferraris.
Yeah, definitely so. The 2 Ferraris. Shane is doing a brilliant job right now of just leading his teammate around.
Yeah.
We did say, though, Max did say to us before the chat, he said, race 1 he was going to be as aggressive as he possibly can, but race 2 he is tired. He's struggling to stay awake. So maybe his reactions and his normal, he's probably fatiguing right now, and he's just struggling to just keep that concentration.
Well, another couple of moments like that. I tell you what, if I'm Dean Wysocki and I'm listening to the stream, if Max pits, pit yourself, because if he's struggling, he's your biggest championship rival with Monkey Boy behind you at the minute. Kelly's got past DJ Phil. That's another one ticked off his list for the pit stop guys. I tell you what, these 2 here, Bryn's been within half a second of Shane this whole 7 laps. Bryn is being a fantastic teammate at the minute. He's not fighting Shane too hard. He's not putting Shane under immense pressure. He's probably said to Shane, let's just go. Let's just go.
They have to work together to kind of gain points as best they possibly can. Race 2 is probably the best opportunity they can. And maybe the Ferrari is working better in these slightly warmer conditions for them. Bryn runs a little bit wide, but you can just tell the Ferrari just looks happier, looks more stable, looks controlled at the minute.
It really does, as Shane's coming up to lap the back of Smithy then. But don't forget, Shane and Bryn not yet pitted. Bryn's had a bit of a scruffy end to this lap and has just dropped over a second now, but they've got 8 seconds. Is someone off? That, I imagine, oh dear, not the second race he'd have wanted at all.
Definitely not. Lucas Roth really struggling in this race 2 at the minute. And Max just managing to avoid that Porsche, but Bryn, obviously, just a little bit sloppy towards the end of that race. But look at Shane's lap times. He's constantly 47s, low 47s. So he is really putting on a great race pace here. Smithy now just in front of me doesn't have to get out of the way. He's entitled to run his line. And once again, the camera is being weird.
Yeah, I don't get why the camera's doing that. Either way, it's picking up Dean Wysocki. Yeah, oh, there we go. Smithy, yeah, and Smithy's a good guy. He'll stay off. He'll get off the throttle while you're coming through, whether he gets out the way or not. He gets off the power, and Smithy lets then Shane and Bryn through relatively easy there. Max Mulder is pulled away from Dean and is trying to close in on Kieran Archer, but he's 12.5 seconds behind Shane at the moment, Dan, and that is not where he wants to be at all. Currently lap 8 of 18. Shane, Bryn, Dean, Smithy, Argent, Max and Leon Fernie yet to pit. Smithy did pit, but obviously before the pit window, so we'll have to see the damage on that one if he doesn't pit again. Dean Wysocki, P5. Not a bad night for Dean, I suppose, really. Fourth and currently a P5 at the moment.
My new favourite saying to a new champion, he's having a pointsy race.
A pointsy race. Love that word. Evening to Forzy in the chat. Nice to see Forzy here. Obviously, Forzy took part in our ACC Championship and was there for Formula 2s as well. And we hope to see Forzy back in later series once again.
Yeah,
because
he'll
it's
be
great
back.
to see him.
He'll be back. We'll get F1 2022 all set up, and we will see that man back on track once again.
Argent, P3. What's this man thinking, Dan? He's kind of had a hit and miss season so far. Missed week 1 being on holiday. First race last week, he got disconnected. Then he got a podium. Not the, 5th place race 1, but not the way he wanted to do it. Race 2 currently on the podium.
He needs to get on the podium again.
Yeah.
This Acura is at its best when it's consistent. Dean is making it work really well. He's been relatively consistent all season in that car, and he's making it work again. He's currently P5. If anything happens to the top, 4, he will be in P4 again. So Dean is making the Acura work, and for me, he's running default setups. He's not tweaking them too much. He's not going crazy with the setups. He's allowing the car to do what it's best at doing, which is using its downforce and chassis at its greatest effect. And it's working for him. Meanwhile, Arjun, I think, is trying too hard. Oh, speaking of Arjun, he's had a moment. He's trying too hard to try and get more pace out of this Acura when probably default is at its best.
We've lost Lucas Roth from this race, then, so we're down to the 12 runners in this one then. And you're right, Dan, he just... Arjun, you speak to him off air as well. You feel that he's needing to... He feels like he needs to extract every bit of time from the Acura. And it's not how you drive the car.
I was going to say, speaking of the Acura, a man who would know a lot of information, a lot of facts about this car would be yourself. You took it to a championship win in Pro-Am. Is it really that tricky to set up when it's not default,
No.
or is it just?
I felt the Acura was very easy to set up. I felt that kind of along the lines of what Dean's doing, little changes. You didn't need to make massive changes to the Acura because especially for a calendar like this, as Arjun comes into the pits at the end of lap 9, just after losing out to Max, with the Acura, Dan, you didn't need to change too much unless it was a wet race or unless it was, you know, more. You had to make more changes for the top speed. So when I was at Texas, I made more changes to my Texas setup than I did for... Oh, Leon Fernie's now had a moment, so he's had a spin then, as he doesn't pit neither, and Kelly gaining on the back of him. Does Kelly get ahead of Argent?
This should be an interesting buffer. Kelly obviously came in earlier on. Argent is into the pits. He's had no real damage, no incidences. He's coming out. Where is Kelly? He's in the final corner. This is going to be very, very tight. It needs to have got a history.
Yeah, Kelly's got him. They have got history, but Kelly's got him. Argent's just off the limiter, and Kelly's right there. Kelly's going to have him. Yeah, this car for the calendar we've got this year doesn't take much setting up, Dan, from default. Argent, I just feel, and this is the problem I get with people who drive the Acura, because it's not the top speed kind of car like the Merc, the Audi, the BMW, the Porsche, the Lamborghini, stuff like that, which Argent's driven. He feels that it's slow. Whereas you make most of your time up through the corners. We all know this. The straights, you can be as quick as you want. You're going to lose and gain more time through the corners. Kieran, I think, is trying to make that car faster. And I don't think that's what he needs to do. I think he needs to sort of go back to the drawing board in terms of his setups and really think about them.
Yeah, definitely so. I think he needs to kind of go back to square one and decide what he wants to do with his setups. Meanwhile, Max is turning up the heat. He is getting quicker and quicker. Shane is into the pits. So this is going to be an interesting buffer. Max obviously was just ahead of Arjun when Arjun pitted. So Kelly should be in that right window. Max is in. So where is KLF? He's now only starting the final sector now. So Shane, how quick is his stop going to be? He's in.
That seemed a long pit entry. Not sure what that was, but that seemed a bit of a glitch there. I tell you why it's a long pit entry, because the pit limit is normally there. Shane's already gone, look. Welshie's come in as well, so that's Welshie's already pitted, so that must be for damage then. Max into his box now. Shane's already away. 9 seconds the gap was Shane to Max as they leave the pits. Tell you what, Dan, I think Kelly's maybe done enough here. It's going to be hard to tell. Oh, this one's going to be really close compared to Argent. Max has jumped Argent, that is for sure. Leon Fernie's gone through. Max is now off his limiter. Now, there's Kelly. Kelly's through. Job done. It's not as close as I thought.
Depends if Max has made a mistake into his inbox, his inbox, because in-lap, sorry, because if that's really affected him now, Arjun's not too far away from him either. But the thing that Max is going to have is Leon Fernie is just ahead of KLF.
Fawzi in the chat saying that the NSX is slow in ACC too. I feel the Honda NSX on ACC is a bit quicker than this one. But again, it's about where the Honda NSX is strong on ACC is the international tracks, the Kyle Armies, Laguna Seca, Suzuka's, Bathurst. Same as this. Who's that? Yeah,
he's gone round.
Leon Fernie has gone round. I feel Argent's biggest test this year is setting that car up, Dan, for Daytona. I think the rest of the tracks don't tweak it too much. I think he's searching for too much. Back to the racing, though. Bryn from Dean yet to pit. As I say that, Bryn comes in the lap after his teammates. And what's the gap, Shane, to Max? It is 10 seconds. Oh, now, did he have a little moment there, or was that just him getting the power down out the corner? Not too sure. Either way, Dean, get yourself in the pit lane.
Really, though, will he? He loves
No.
to go late. He loves to go late. I think he's going to come. Let's make a prediction here, Matt. Well, I think he's going to come in lap 14.
Yeah, I was going to say the same one.
I'm going to change it then. I'll go 15. I reckon he'll go to the 15, and he's going to now test us now and go all the way to the end.
Do you know what Dean's got to do? And if Dean's listening, what he's got to do is Shane's catching the back of Dean like crazy. Don't fight Shane. He's not your race because you're going to lose to him in the pits.
I was just about to say something about Monkey Bar. I think he needs to keep a wee in more often because right now he's currently P9 and is struggling.
Yes, I agree with you. Leon Fernie's coming to the pits at the end of lap 11 as well, so that's him. Justine left to pit. Now, good question in the chat from Fawzi. What is the difference between the Acura and the Honda NSX? Mike Mathew saying that the Acura is American, PN saying the name. The only difference is the name. It is just a Honda NSX. The Japanese sold it to the Americans because they could get more money off the Americans. It's a bit kind of silly on the Americans' part, really. Japan basically sold the NSX to America, but America wanted it to be called something different, and Japan thought, well, do you know what? There's more money if we sell it that's not called Honda. So let's sell it as a name that they probably agreed on, and Honda as a manufacturer, as a brand, got more money from the Americans for it being called the Acura. So there is no difference in the car whatsoever.
The only good thing about the Acura and the Honda is that they make amazing lawnmowers. We have one myself, and I can't tip them any more than that. And also, they're very good at developing cars that are good at cheating as well. So, tops to Honda.
Yeah, but I completely agree with you. Right then, Max has probably got one of his biggest challenges this season. I don't think he's been on the back of KLF much. No, Bryn! Oh, what a shame. He's just made his pit stop and has had a spin out the hairpin and loses out to Kelly. Could lose out to Max here. He's going to try around the outside. That's not going to work.
This could get messy.
Can Bryn keep it around the outside? I tell you what, he's not giving in, is he? Max trying to go back up the inside. Bryn now. Max has to cut the corner because Bryn and him were side by side. Bryn gets the better run out the corner. Back in front of Max we go. That could have been a lot messier than what it was, Dan. And Bryn there, all that good work he's done early days has gone to bed.
Well, this is what KLF needed. He luckily cleared Bryn as quick as he possibly can. Now Max is stuck behind Bryn. Kelly could now disappear into the distance, and it's going to take Max a while to get past Bryn if he's got the pace.
Oh,
But he's got deep.
It's not going to take him that long. Bryn's got to go over the sleeping policeman. Oh!
Is it not? Because he's now been pushed onto the gravel, and Bryn will get a better run through this section as well. So Bryn is down the inside again. Oh, this is getting a bit desperate here for Bryn. Oh, they made contact.
Yeah, not quite sure who was at fault there due to the camera angle we had to be on because of the glitches we're having on. It's 2 weeks in a row these cameramen have been poor. Spain and America, man. Either way, this is helping KLF an absolute treat and could bring Argy Bargy into this one. Well, she's been lapped by Smithy. Leon Fernie down in 10th place. Rabbit Joe Dan as well. Hasn't come through the pack we expected him to. And for Dean Wasaki here, while these lot are all squabbling, he's out in front with Shane on the rear. If I was Dean, with Shane getting closer, I'd box now to let Shane go. And maybe he's not going to come out this fight, but come out just ahead of Monkey Boy, because Monkey Boy's within that 30-second window. Max up the inside of Bryn, looking at the hairpin, just gives Bryn a little tap on the rear, and it's all handbags between these two. What was it, Gucci and Prada, I think Kelly was naming the other week?
Yeah, something along those lines. Dean's staying out, so Shane is going to be on the back of him. Lap 15, here we come, Dean.
No, it's lap 14. This is lap 14 he's starting.
Nah, for me, I've got 15 now.
Yeah, you have, yeah. Max now with Bryn on the back of him. Can Bryn get down the start line? Argent's just a bit too far back at the moment, but Bryn now, he's lost out then. Is Kelly then net second place? I believe so, because Dean Wasaki's gonna...
Kelly's lap time isn't enough. These two were squabbling behind him, but he's only now... Yeah. He was matched by them. So Kelly's not doing what he needed to do. Bryn was holding him up majorly, and he's actually lost time to these two, and he's very slow through sector one.
The thing Bryn can think of is, I don't need to attack Max as much here, because Kelly's in front, and Kelly is a defender and really loves a good defensive manoeuvres. And Bryn could be back in this. Argy Bargy's not a million miles away, neither. Dean Wasaki out front then has to pit within the next 3 laps, otherwise disqualification from the race. You've got to pit latest of lap 17, otherwise disqualified from the race. That is the game that does it, not us, but you obviously have to pit before the end of the race. That is the rules. Max then, this is all, Dan, this is all a dream for someone's first win tonight. I'm not going to
Yeah,
say him.
definitely
Do
so.
not go on board him. We don't want to jinx him.
Don't even want to talk about him. But either way, the thing is, though, Bryn's doing the ultimate team game here. He is holding up Max as long as he possibly can for Shane. As we see here, Kelly going defensive, once again taking the Rabbit Joe line. But we know Max has got his brain switched on this evening, even though he's a little bit tired. He knows what to do in these situations. And Kelly running him out wide there, JM Grill style, as Bryn comes sneaking up the inside.
Yeah, Bryn comes sneaking up the inside, and this is what I'm saying about Bryn. He just doesn't have to push too hard. Dean in, end of lap 14, I win the bet.
He's been disconnected.
No way. He's sped in the
gone
pit lane.
Well, then he won't be getting a race 2 win.
It's not come up saying that Dean has been disconnected. He's sped in the pit lane. He's come into... Oh, he says he's got disconnected in the chat. And actually, yeah, his car's not in the pit lane. Oh, Dean. So no points in the second race for Dean. What a shame for him then. That then will put to bed maybe his champion. He's got to hope for results to go his way in future weeks to be champion. Dean was socky at the end. Hasn't gone his way.
Max is really stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, and Bryn's going to look down the inside. Kelly is holding his line. He doesn't need to move anywhere, and they've got Smithy up ahead of him. He's going to be wanting to back Argent.
He is going to want to back Argent. Bryn's got ahead of Max, it says on my timing screens, Dan. Obviously, the cameraman is he's away with the fairies, and Bryn is ahead of Max. So Bryn now on Argent!
Just when he needs to be there. He's not, and Smithy's gone wide now. So Smithy could have done the hard work of helping Argent out, and Argent too busy having his own incident.
Poll up for who you think's driver of the day. If you don't agree with M4, get your vote in the chat for who you think it is. Got disconnected, says Dean. What's your take on Red Bull cost cap? We're not going to go into that one. Throw them out. Give Leclerc the title. Also give Lewis it from last year. We will go there then. Back to the racing though. Lap 15 of 18. Shane has a 12-second lead. And Bryn can't come across much further because Max is 2 wheels on the grass. And all that, I think Max has possibly gone for a... Kelly! Oh, Kelly! Nearly lost the rear there.
See, I think me and you are going to have very different opinions on that one. I think Bryn just kept closing that door. He kept closing it and closing it and closing it when Max was alongside and Bryn's had a spin. I think, in my opinion, I'd put more fault on Bryn on that incident, in my opinion.
Well,
but
I'm sure the stewards will be taking a look at that one.
He was moving under braking and Max had nowhere to go. They got stuck together and Max went around with him. As you see in the background, Argent and
Who's
Bryn
that?
and Smithy.
Smithy had no rear wing coming through. Yeah, he had no rear wing coming through that final corner. Did he? I don't think he did, Dan. I'm just looking back on the stream here.
Yeah. Just look in the background. You just see that Bryn and Smithy were so close to one another. Anyway, Max got a run on Kelly.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get it done through the outside of turn 3. Kelly, the wise old fox, look, just comes back under. Was Max trying to tuck underneath? I'm just looking back on stream now to see what happened with Smithy. Max to the outside of Kelly then. No, I don't think they made contact there, Dan. But either way, not sure what happened. Either way, back to this. Bryn's on the back of Argent now. This for P4 and 5. Kelly doing exactly what we said he'd do, and that is defending. Max is on the grass to get up the inside of Kelly. Backs out of this one. We did lose Dean P, and he got disconnected when coming into the pit lane, so not sure what happened, but Kelly defending for his life here, Dan.
I hope I could put on such a good defensive overtakers behind me.
Don't we all?
But Kelly really trying to just stick to the inside of the track, maybe putting his car central as well. Catalunya, not the easiest circuit to overtake on, especially an F1 car, but in these GT cars, there's a little bit more doable. It's Max down the inside, he's got a nose ahead. Kelly gives him space, but he still can't find a way through.
I think Max backed out of that, knowing what happened with the Monkey Boy incident in race 1. He bounced off that curb, didn't he, and lost the rear. And if he loses the rear big like that, he's going to be behind Argent and Bryn once again then. Max trying everything. This, though, is helping Shane. Lap 17, he's 15 seconds up the road. He's gone at the moment. Kelly still trying to defend from Max and from, what has happened to Smithy? He's stationary still, not sure what that is all about. Here comes Max once again on the outside. Oh, Smithy, stay still! Bryn's had a spin at some point as well because he's way behind Argent now. Kelly.
Look at that Porsche out-dragged the Audi. That's not going to make me feel good.
No, it's not at all, especially if you're alongside a Mercedes-Benz. Max then sitting behind KLF once again then. And Kelly doing a fantastic job defensively here.
He is indeed. He's got 2 laps to survive now, right to the very end. And whatever they do, they got to keep it clean so they get to the end together. Because right now, the way it's going, Arjun can just slowly creep on. As long as he don't have a little moment again all on his own, he can creep onto the back of these two ever so slowly. Because Kelly's last stat was a 1 minute 50.6. Arjun, a 48.2 in clear air.
3.4 behind Max, though, is Argent at the moment. He's got a lot of work to do, and Max is trying to look each way to Sunday to get past KLF. And Kelly there, look, just squeezing him off the circuit. Max, little wiggle as he was braking on the grass then, tries to get a run on KLF, but it's the wrong side of Kelly. Great run, but the wrong side. Kelly can just keep it there. Max then comes back across. You see Kelly, compared to Joe, just starts to come across, which he's entitled to do, to open that corner up for him as long as he leaves a car's width. And Max again stuck behind him. He thought the defence from Joe wasn't the best, and now he's coming up against one of the best defenders at Simplay Motorsport. But this man, Dan, starting his final lap of the race.
Yeah, all eyes will be on this man towards the end, but our main eyes are set on these two having the fight so far of the season. Max trying everything he possibly can, trying every little trick in the book to try and find a way past Kelly, and Kelly's using every trick in the book to stay in front of him. Meanwhile, look who's come on the scene on the final lap.
1.4 the gap, Argent to Max Mulder. Kelly wants another second place. He's yet to take a race win this season. We will have a brand new winner in the race 2 this season. We'll have a third winner this season. Max, so late on the brakes, nearly caught Kelly under the braking there and just tapped the rear. Argent's coming and coming. I tell you what an opportunity this could be for Argent to get on the podium. Then as here comes Max Mulder on the back of KLF once again, and Kelly just going to keep it to that inside, and nearly where Lewis and Nico Rosberg went off. Max nearly went into the back of Kelly there. Where is Kelly? There the blue and orange Porsche appears, as this is a Titanic battle. But let's hope this doesn't sink like the Titanic, because Argent will capitalise. Kelly, little deep. Max on the curb! Oh, he's gone around! And Argent's through. Where's Bryn? Where's Bryn? He's there. Bryn could get past as well. Yes. He does. So Max down into P5. Oh, if Dean didn't get disconnected, Dean would have been right on the back of that fight and could have got himself on the podium for another P4 at the end. What a shame. But Dan, we're going to crown a brand new winner. We tipped this guy at the beginning of the season. What a drive in race 2. He's led it from start to finish. And Shane 5577 is going to be a first-time winner at Simplay Motorsport. What a drive.
I think he's going to suddenly make that this is going to be his favourite circuit. But we say about Kelly coming home in second, Arjun's right there, but Shane, a well-deserved race win. He had the pace, he had the consistency, and he just absolutely nailed it in race 2. With no Dean here, Shane picks up the pieces. Kelly will come home for a very well-deserved second place with a very strong defensive drive.
Very good from KLF. P2 for him and a P3 for RG Bargy. A set of thirds in race 2 on the podium. Max has got himself ahead of Bryn at the very end. I wonder if Bryn's had a mistake. He's been struggling in that last sector these last couple of laps. Max P4 across the line. Bryn P5. Not the result he probably would have wanted, but his best result of the season. Monkey Boy comes in for, little wee man in for a P6. DJ Phil, a set of 7th places tonight. Not bad for DJ Phil. Whew. And
consistency.
Breathe. Oh, dear.
Consistency.
Rabbit Joe,
DJ
not...
Phil.
Sorry, carry on.
I'm just saying DJ Phil with some brilliant consistency there, allowing him to just keep himself cool, calm and collected and get himself on on a good 7th place position.
Rabbit Joe, not the race 2 he'd have wanted. He just didn't seem to have the pace. Welshie's crossed the line, P10, I do believe. Leon Furney's, oh no, Welshie's just there behind him. Look, Smithy's yet to finish as well. Rabbit Joe, P8 for him, not his race 2 he'd have wanted. Welshie, P10. And we just await Smithy in 11th place, who's struggling without a core at the end. Fastest lap we await now. And we have a new constructors leader in after this second race. We'll get to that one in a moment, and we have still the same sort of points in the drivers' championship, but one of them drivers is no longer second. He's down in 4th. We'll get to that one, as Smithy isn't going to make the end of this race, but will finish. We just await the fastest lap to see who got that. I'm going to argue Max. Max. Where's Max? P4, 46.1. Look, I'd be right as well. Yeah. It's like guessing that Overtaker's going to take a fastest lap on Thursday night. It just kind of happens. Right then, championship standings look like this with 486 drivers' points left up for grabs. It's Max Mulder who leads the way, 46 points clear now of Monkey Boy after 6 races. Skelly up into third place, 3 points behind his teammate. Dean Wasocki drops to 4th on 75 points. Shane now up into P5 with Rabbit Joe in 6th. Ugbar down to 7th with DJ Phil in 8th, tied on 43 points. As is Argent, tied on 43 points with Ugbar. So them 3 tied. Smithy down in 10th place on 36 with Leon Fernie on 34. Stelfsloff and Welshie tied on 25 with Bozzy Boy 24, Bryn on 23 and Lucas Roth 15. Audio Sport and 2 Old Pros 163 and 163. Audio Sport would have led. They are now tied with the SRL Racing team. SRL will obviously be first due to their race wins. Wakasaki Racing now 64 behind. They are only 7 ahead of the Super Crash Bros then. So the Super Crash Bros gaining on them. Terminal Velocity Racing are in 5th. SFA Accord. Do you know what the SFA stands for, by the way, Dan? Sexy Flipping Acora. That's what it stands for. 79 points in P6. Simplay Racing P7 on 74. And MC Motorsport on 50. And we have the Sexy Flipping Acora driver in the chat with us. Argy Bargy. Talk us through that last lap.
Just to correct, it doesn't stand for that. It stands for something different. I can't repeat on the stream. However, I wasn't expecting a podium. I was just settling for 4th until Max had a snap, middle of last lap. Good points tonight. Bear in mind what happened to me lap 1, turn 1. I'll take it.
The Acora just didn't seem to have the pace in that first race. It looked like you struggled a lot. But at the end of the day, it was still a great result for yourself on that podium. It's 2 podiums now in 2 second races. Do you feel that the Acora is starting to come to you?
A little bit. As I say, I was carrying a bit of damage first race in the first half of it. It's essentially the reason why I got the 10-second penalty into the pit lane, but I'll say I'll take it, my own fault. But yeah, it's just one of them things, just got to be consistent and try and take the points where I can.
Now going into Laguna Seca next week, a track where I personally know from Season 5, the Acora is very strong at. You've got to be looking forward to that one. Yeah,
it's going to be, should be a good track for the Acora, and as well as probably the Ferrari as well, I'd imagine, and the Ginetta, so we'll just have to wait and see. A narrow track which doesn't help.
How are you around Laguna though as a driver? What's your opinions on it?
Oh, I loved it. It's one of the only foreign tracks I've been to. So, only thing I'd say, it's a bit narrow compared to most other circuits we go to, and obviously when drivers run side by side, it can cause a bit of carnage.
Well done tonight on the 3rd place, and congratulations on your results. And we're joined by KLF, another man whose race 1 was pretty dismal. But Kelly, that was a defensive drive to be proud of at the end.
Was it? I do hope so. I hope it was all clean and all that, of course, because I wouldn't want to be questionable, of course.
Key word there.
Yeah, absolutely. Defensive, I think, not questionable.
Race 2 were much better for yourself, like Argent just said. Race 1 kind of a write-off. You did actually claw points back in race 1, but race 2 a lot better.
Race 1 was a catalogue of failures, speeding in the pit lane in qualifying. Then I had a jump start and I spun in turn 1. By the time I came out of the pits, I was last and 45 seconds off the lead in lap 2. So to drag back to 6, I think it was, I was really, really happy with that, to be fair. Race 2 was much, much better. I didn't quite have the pace of the guys up front, but tried to do it on strategy.
The strategy seemed to work for you as well, because you got ahead of Max by a little bit more than you was before you pitted, and it was really sort of hang on at the end. Just talk us through them last couple of laps, because Bryn having a mistake kind of split you and Max, helped you have a little breather from Max for a bit, and then it was all action at the end.
Yeah, it seemed I spent most of that race, the early part looking in my mirrors at Max, and the final part looking at Max as well. And I mean, he was all over me like a cheap suit. Do you know what I mean? And everywhere I went, he was trying to get up the inside of me, and so on and so forth. It was, I don't know how many laps we were battling for, 3 or 4 or 5 maybe, but it seemed like 50. You know, it was super intense.
And we go to Laguna Seca next week, same as I asked Argent, really. You're looking forward to it? What can you do there in the Porsche?
not normally a fan, or I'm not a fan of the track itself, but I seem to always go well every time we get there. It's one of those, as long as you're online, if you go off the track because it's dirt and sand and whatever, it's heavy penalties. And let's not forget, Matt, it's Spooky Laguna, so something weird will happen.
Indeed.
And that close to Halloween, something weird will happen.
Yes, it possibly will. Well, you'll be able to catch Kelly tomorrow night with Smithy in the commentary box, and you'll see him on track next Wednesday. But Kelly, well done tonight.
Thank you.
And Dan, don't know about you, but I love a new race winner.
Well, definitely so, and no better so than this man who we've been praising all season. Shane, congratulations on the win, mate. How does that one feel?
Cheers, mate. That was quite hard, though.
You say quite hard. I thought you had it relatively easy, to be fair, at the beginning.
No. That first off, I think Bryn were quicker than me.
Talk us through the race, because it was that first part was you and Bryn sort of following each other brilliantly.
Well, I think it was lap 10, 11 we pitted. It was right on my bonnet, on my trunk, all the way around.
The end of the race. The end of the race after Bryn had a spin must have been when it was easier for you.
Yeah, just nurse it home, man.
Laguna Seca, I know you have come from Xbox and you've come from Forza, I believe it is. Is Laguna Seca a track that next week you know a bit better?
About as much as what I do around here, really.
What do you think you can do around
there? Hopefully same again. Or there's some fast guys in this pro-am, so...
Well, congratulations, Shane, on your first race win. You've got the joint vote for driver of the day in the from the viewers in the chat. Dan, final words from yourself and driver of the day from you.
Well, so Catalunya once again delivers some great racing, some great fighting there. Amazing defensive driving from Kelly towards the end. Max really pressurising him right to the end. Max, obviously, very, very good driving race one. Obviously, big props to Shane after getting his first race win as well. Somewhat looking forward to racing tomorrow night. I feel like the Audi could be quite good tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. But for me, driver of the day has to go to DJ Phil with 2 solid 7th places tonight. He's been very consistent, kept it really clean, and I think he's just been the most overall consistent driver of the evening. So big ups to DJ Phil tonight.
Yeah, obviously, honourable notice, shout-outs to Argent, Kelly and Shane for the race 2, to Rabbit Joe for his race 1. I was going to say Dean, because he could have been on for 2 top 5s tonight, but again, I am going to go DJ Phil. I think his consistency tonight has been fantastic. 2 7th places, and we've no Ukbar to sort of help him along as a teammate as well. I'm going to give it the way of DJ Phil, but a great night all in all. Catalunya tomorrow night, be there or be square. 8 p.m. BST, Kelly Davis, Clive Smith, commentating in your commentary box. The
Dream Supreme Team, you know it, Matthew. Tomorrow night, me and Smithy, 8 p.m. Come and join us as we try to speak French.
Dan, I've just thought, me and Kelly were sweet and sticky. Me and Smithy was sweet and sour, which means we've got sticky and sour in the commentary box tomorrow night. We need a name.
Dumb and Dumber?
2 broken rear wings.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Gucci and Jimmy Choo.
It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you the Pro-Am tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. BST. Kelly Davis, Clive Smith in the commentary box for the pros. Myself, and Dan Davis will be back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. I want to say BST, but I'm not sure when the clocks go back. It might be BST, it might be GMT next week. Tune in, you'll find out. Either way, if you've hit that notification button and the bell to be notified, you will get a notification when we are live, so it shouldn't matter if you've done that. We'll be back next week, 8 p.m. Kelly Davis, Clive Smith, live for the pros tomorrow. Can anybody stop The Undertaker, as them two like to call him?
Hey.
There's only one place to find out. From all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, take care. Good night.
Good night.
There's only one place to find out. From all of us here